Hey, how's it going? It's Tom O'Mahony here, your host on Buckshot for episode 57. You're all very welcome. Bit of a different vibe today. I said I'd take it out of the old office. Going for an hour walk with the dog, taking the dog on the morning walk. This one happens to be a bit of a nicer walk. It's about 16, 17 degrees already. That's the fucking shit. Everybody's out with their dog. Even people with dogs that kind of look like cats. I'm looking at a thing right now and I could not be... It looks like a giant squirrel from here. And by giant squirrel, I mean marginally bigger than your average squirrel. Why would you... I don't even know. I have no idea what that dog is. Anyway, what a great start to the podcast. You're all very, very welcome. If it's your first time joining, we're 57 in. We've probably a couple more with a few bonus podcasts as I lean up against a tree. Podcast done. But we'll count it officially at 57. We're on 57, and I won't keep you long because the one with Luke this week, actually it went pretty long because we just bags and bags to talk about. Baroness the dog is having the time. Baroness the dog would seem to be more popular on Instagram than I am right now. People are actually messaging me going, I'm obsessed with your dog. 10 years of comedy. Well, 9 years of comedy. And there's nobody obsessed with me. Which is understandable, to be fair. I mean, the dog is just adorable, for Christ's sake. She's got a moustache, a tail, 4 awesome legs, and, you know, she could actually hunt with her face. So it's completely understandable. Nothing really much to talk about. I mean, yeah, I was doing a couple of corporate gigs and stuff like that at the weekend. Again, nothing you need to hear about. Nothing that would interest anybody in the whole. We had a good old chat today, myself and... yesterday, sorry. This is Friday morning. I recorded it yesterday evening, so I'll have this up in an hour or so because there wasn't any editing really needed on Luke's one. He was happy enough. And we're actually interrupted halfway through. There'll be a point where I pointed out, actually, we're sitting upstairs in the comedy club in the middle of the morning. And a German couple, I can only assume, just decide to... They like, the difficulty they had to get to the comedy club upstairs when they were looking for the bar, they pretty much had to walk through the fucking bar to get upstairs. And yet they still thought upstairs must be where the bar is. Even though they pretty much walked through... You know, it's... God bless him. God bless him. But that's, yeah. Other than that, we had a good old chat about what it means really to be a pro fighter. And the new situation he finds himself in and how fantastic it is. Like, it was actually really heartening to kind of hear it, because it's like, yeah, it's great to hear and when you see, like, I've posted on Facebook and I'll put it up on Twitter as well, the fight that he's discussing that he just came out the other side of and won his WBO European Middleweight title. I'll post it on Twitter as well. The whole fight is up there. Oh my God, even if you're not a boxing fan, talk about a masterclass. Jesus Christ. It's like his 2 eyes get burst open, but he fucking slaloms this entire fight. Incredible stuff. We just chat just about how he went from being an engineer, structural engineer, to being a pro fighter, and again having silly talk in between as well, because why wouldn't you? Like I said, I'm not going to keep you bothered. I don't know. It's just one of those relaxed mornings, gang. You don't really have to stress about where Tom was gigging next and whatnot. This weekend actually is fantastic. We're going to Colin Geddes' wedding. This is kind of a chill day. I'll be dropping. Old Baroness is going to get to hang out with Daisy, her mate, for the weekend with my friends Jenny and Morgan. By the way, thank you very much to... Oh God, I meant to actually say somebody who pledged to the... Yeah, I should really do the proper intro to everything else. I'm very, very sorry, but I don't have my phone even with me. But who pledged to the Patreon page? Thank you very, very much. Was it Cullen Door? No, I'm not going to fuck up your name. I'm not going to fuck it up. I will actually mention it properly next week. My apologies to anybody who doesn't know what Patreon is. It's a forum that basically allows you to throw a $1 or $2 or even $1 million if you want to the artist of your choice. And it's an artist that has actually set up a page for the reasoning of it's people that are doing stuff for free, and you're like, hey, I like that shit, and I bet that shit costs a couple of quid. So do you know what? For the sake of whatever, not even the price of a cup of coffee, I'm gonna sling him a dollar. And the whole thing is really to get around to actually just getting higher end equipment, higher end cameras and stuff like that, just so I can produce a better show, all in all. And with that, hopefully just continue getting guests, because I mean, the bigger the show gets, the more guests that you'll just be coming. To be fair, most people are actually sound about coming onto it. It's just physically finding the time for people and stuff like that. Also, if it's on iTunes, do you know what? If whatever you're listening to on right now, hit subscribe, and I'll be in your ear holes every week. People have been, again, I will quote you properly when I have the laptop in front of me. It was a few people have left nice reviews. I like that they left 5-star reviews. Oddly though, out of the bunch, I don't know who has brought it down. Who has sabotaged? What saboteur has sabotaged the almost perfect rating of 5 stars from all the people that actually rated it? But somebody has to bring it down to 4.5 stars. Who are you, and why did you do that? Out of the number of votes, did you press 3 and just bring the average down? You know what, 3 is good enough. Yeah, like I said, if it ain't a 5, turn it off. If you don't think this is 5 or worth giving a 5, don't worry. There's bags more class podcasts out there, loads more of them. But the thing is, here's the thing: I don't really give a bollocks. It's just really handy, and it makes it easier. I don't know what way iTunes work, but it makes it easier for people to actually find it, the higher the rating it has. So, as an Irish comedy podcast, there are fucking loads, let's be honest. But if you're listening to this one, you like this one, it means it's the best. It's the best in whoever's eyes, you know what I mean? I mean, people seem to be okay with the guests, that they're varied guests, like obviously comedians and sports people and all the rest of it. But yeah, as far as the Patreon thing goes, Patreon is just a cool way of kind of just giving a little high five to the artist you're digging, you know what I mean? And everything you can't do without the people that actually like you. So it's Patreon, patreon.com/Tom O'Mahony Buckshot. I'll put the links, and I'll put like Luke's links and all the rest of it to follow him and everything in the description. Other than that, follow me on all the usual: Tom O'Mahony Comedy on Instagram, Tom O'Mahony Comedy on Twitter, or at Buckshot Pod. And if you need to hit me up about anything, feel free. Shoot me it on Twitter is probably the handiest, I guess. Or shoot, you know what I mean? It's just the handiest, really, I guess. And if it's something private that you want to ask a question, shoot the old website. Go to Tom O'Mahony and go to contact tomomahony.com. Very easy to find me. The chatty snaps, I don't know, is anybody using fucking chatty snaps anymore? Which, by the way, I think is a far better name than Snapchat. But it's Tom Bear O'Mahony if you do want to find me on that. A lot of people, you know what I mean? Horses for courses. Some people like Instagram, some people like chatty snaps. I don't like anything to say, I don't have a war on anything. Instagram I think is probably easier for me. It's because I don't know, that's the way my brain is fixed. But let's not get into a fucking discussion about social media, for fuck's sake. Who gives a bollocks? I'm out here in the middle of a field with a dog. I found a Friday morning. Things can't be too fucking bad. It's about 17, 18 degrees out. This is good stuff. Yeah, we're going to Colin Geddes' wedding this weekend, so it should be good times. I'll fill you in. I won't fill you in too much, but I'll let you know the crack next weekend. I believe there's a few people from the comedy community going, which makes absolute sense. Like I said, this with Luke, it was a really interesting one because he's just a very thoughtful guy. Of an absolute assassin, but to describe how, what I saw was an amazing boxer the last night I saw, but he was just talking about how it wasn't even on the radar of how good he's after getting since he quit his job and has gone full time with Steve Taylor of Katie Taylor's dad, and joined with MTK Boxing and everything. Even if you're not a boxing fan, there isn't an awful lot of intricacies. We don't get into the intricate stuff. I've kept it fairly rounded, so you could apply kind of the chat. You know what I mean? If you're into fucking crocheting, you can kind of get something from this. He's a really cool cat and a really, really nice fella, and up for an old giggle too, you know what I mean, because it's not everybody's forte to be talk. This man uses his fists for a living, so it's to punch people, you filthy bastards. But so it's not, you have to understand, it's fine for comedians or actors or whatever to come on. They talk for fucking Ireland, as you can see, when it comes to this kind of stuff, so it's chit-chatting comes very, very easy to somebody who that's what they do for a living, chit-chatting. But to sports people, it's always amazed me when they can just turn it on too. So that, it came out an hour and 45 minutes or something, this one, so I won't keep you a minute longer. Please enjoy the very fantastic, and have a great weekend, by the way. Tell all your friends and family about it, share it, tell everybody, and rate it if you think it's worth 5 stars. Please enjoy the fantastic Luke Keeler. Luke Keeler, thank you very much for coming in.
No problem.
This is a long time coming, isn't it? We met a couple of years ago nearly at this stage.
Slow one and kind of the last couple of years where I fought a couple of times in Ireland.
Yeah.
I won the Irish title, but it was kind of just stop start, with dates. Not that busy.
You
There
were
was no plan,
Yeah, but you were working. But like I went to see you were the headline. You were the main event in the what's it called? In
stadium, yeah.
Yeah, in the stadium. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I had them couple of fights in England with Matchroom, and I lost, say, against Tom Dorden. I got stopped. Remember that fight? It was a 2-round battle, like. So I had him down, he had me down. It was a good learning experience. That's about it. But I had that fight, and then I kind of came back to Dublin. Then no more fights at Matchroom, and start building in Dublin.
Yeah.
Start say in the National Stadium, and it was kind of slow burn. The shows weren't planned or set dates, and it wasn't any structure to it. So I made a decision to sign with MTK. So
McDonough.
Yeah. I signed with them, and they had a plan and structure in place, and that support there from them. Say allowed me to make the leap, say, of giving up the job. So,
but I suppose there's a textbook. They have the textbook, don't they?
Yeah.
They go, well, you join us. This is your day. There's no more fluting around in circles.
To be honest, I made the jump, giving up work at Christmas. And
what were you doing before that?
I'd done a degree in structural engineering, but I just kind of sidetracked off. I was commissioning engineering, was called.
Oh, I'm a civil engineer as well.
Yeah. Man, sure. I was in DIT for 4 years. I'd done a degree there, but I was always kind of busy with work, college, and I never committed fully. And then, say my last performance was the Irish title. I was kind of sickened to myself. Like, I wasn't happy with the performance. I won the belt, say.
You broke your hand in that one?
Yeah.
Man,
the hand.
I never saw anybody look more fucking relaxed through it. You look like an accountant.
The last fight.
Yeah, that one in Ireland.
Yeah.
I was watching it, because everybody else, they looked, you know what I mean? They looked like they were in a scrap.
Yeah.
Even though he was an army bloke, wasn't he?
Yeah.
His lads were clearly just left off the fucking barracks for the weekend.
Yeah.
It was an animal pit. These lads had to be held back.
Yeah.
Like, there was a bunch of travellers for Steve Collins' fight, and they were wild. But these fucking army lads were absolute fucking lunatics. Like, the security had to hold them back. But you seemed, I don't know, just your facial expression seemed so relaxed. And you broke your fucking hand in, the second round or something.
Oh, I think it was the third round, but the fight, I tell you, the story before that goes, in September gone there, I got surgery on my shoulder. So, say 2.5 years ago, I had a tear in my shoulder. And they said to get surgery. But I just they said I'd be out for 6 months. And it was kind of starting to kick off. I said, I'll try physio.
Yeah.
I'll try a few things. And it didn't work. So I was kind of dragging on with that and I was in pain. So I went through that Jordan fight. It wasn't at my best. So I said, look, I'd either retire or give it everything. So I went, got the surgery done.
Yeah.
And loads of changes. Signed with MTK, who put a structure in place and gave up the job,
How did the MTK thing come around? Were you in chats, or did they go?
Yeah,
did they scout you? Because obviously they would have known about you.
I was in chats with them before and never signed. We're kind of going in a different direction with Matchroom, and I never committed, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I signed with them then, and it was the best thing I'd done. You know, that kind of way.
Yeah.
It's just it gives you peace of mind having the dates in place. You know, that kind of way. It's hard to give up a good, well-paid job.
Yeah.
And having a mortgage to pay and everything else. You know what I mean? It's kind of a gamble, but they gave me a bit of security. You know.
That's unbelievable. And are they based out of? Well, they used to be. Well, they're based out of Marbella originally, aren't they? And then, but they're
Dubai now. They're in Dubai. Yeah.
They're expanding every place, aren't they?
Yeah. Talk of America now. They're flying. It's really grown. And they're looking after the fighters amazingly well. You wouldn't. With boxing, it's kind of. It's a crooked business, isn't it?
Of course it is. Yeah. I mean,
steeped in that. It's.
And it's a lot of it too. Is if you can get exposure to get to the front,
isn't it? They're kind of. They're backing Irish fighters. It's amazing what they're doing with Irish fighters.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, Stephen Armand is chance after chance with them. He would invest money in, say, a fighter that lost a couple of times. You get me? An Irish fighter, say, and then reinvest. Now he's going to go for another huge fight. So they're just getting chance after chance. It's unheard of.
That's it, because typically people, they just look at paper, don't they? They just go, numbers don't stack up for us. Move on.
Well,
Business.
support, it's all business. We're there investing money in fighters and helping fighters. Like before, we be getting say short notice, going over to the UK, taking a fight at short notice in the UK.
What's that, like a fortnight or a week or?
Well, yeah, you could get a call after 3 or 4 weeks notice. Whereas now, all of a sudden, we're the A side. We're the home fighters.
Yeah.
So we're getting the fighters that we want, that suits our styles on the shows at home. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Whereas before, we're getting picked, given short notice and brought in nearly to lose.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Fodder.
Because there's obviously, like, if you're the home fighter, there's a bit of a sway with the judges as well.
Yeah.
Without even being too corrupt and saying, look, this is who we want to win.
Yeah.
But they obviously swayed by that as well, you know. So
yeah, because you got a room full
it's
of.
all positive. Like, we're going and they're mentioning opponents. They're saying, does he sue? And all of a sudden, like, you're looking at styles with your coach.
Yeah,
and you're getting the right guys in because they're investing the money in us. Do you get me?
So this is a proper high level outlook from all the levels.
Yeah,
so
it's all business. It all comes back to business. It means, like, the sport of boxing is as much a business as it is how good you are. Like, do you get me? Like, and without taking them steps up with the right opponents, like, it's the difference between making it and not making it.
Yeah.
It's not like a sport. You're the best, but it's like, it's crazy how you can be moved along, fight for a world title, and you're like you're not even like top 10 in the world. Like,
it's the weirdest business I've ever seen. Like, but it's up. Do you know what? It's kind of like, in a way, it's kind of like the arts world, in that, like, if you have the right promotion behind you, you can
it's not different to your own business.
It's fast. You can be fast tracked to the top. When a lot of the time you'll see it, people aren't fucking ready. Like, and you'll see veterans who are just ripping up trees every weekend in every club. Like, not getting a chance. But it's
luck as well, isn't it?
It is luck, and it's craftiness. And I mean, there's, I suppose, with our game, I suppose it's probably the acting game and it's the stand up game and stuff like that. A lot of it is what's hot at the moment. So what's needed. So they go, well, society needs. We're down on fucking gay lads. We need it, and this is reality now.
Jesus,
I'm telling you,
that's
like,
bollocks.
this is what PR people are looking at.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? If that's needed, like, or they say, look, the cards are stacked too much. We've too many.
We need a black lad in there.
You think I'm joking?
Yeah.
And it all stems back from America. This is the way they do it in America. Like, I was talking to recently? It was Carl Spain. He was over gigging, and he talks. This started like 10, 12 years ago. The way they looked at this, and he was gigging in Florida, and they were to go forward for some competition. I think himself and another guy or whatever, and they were just queuing up to register their name for this stand-up competition they were flown over for. And it was like, okay, and I can't remember what comedian was with him. He was of Indian descent. He was an English guy. It's like Paul Chowdhury or somebody like that. And she went, oh. We already have the Indian guy. He goes, but I'm not Indian. I'm from England. But they were going, yeah, but you're brown. We got one of those. Yeah, and that's nothing to do with, but not like being funny. Ability was like third on the list.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was, have you got something we can sell?
Unless you're really fantastic.
You like it's. Yeah, I mean, but there still has to be space for you. Do you know what I mean? It still has to be space for you at the top echelons, like, you know what I mean? And if there isn't space, or somebody's given up, they're like, oh, right, we need the crazy one put in there who has the goofy haircut. Yeah. Do you know, like, and things like that, you know? Like, but what I'm
structured, like,
it's that structured, and you wouldn't think it is. Like, you think it's just...
Yeah, the cream rises to the top.
No,
I know there's looking everything, but yeah.
I mean, the cream does, but you gotta be patient, because, you know what I mean? You'd see people ripping by you, and like, you go, what the fuck just happened there? But then, I used to be like that, but then you kind of look at, when you know the system, you go, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Yeah, there's no negatives about it.
Yeah, no, I can't. Yeah, you can't. I don't have that.
You only get better.
You know what I mean? You only get better, and you never do it.
I'm guy this time,
You know what I mean? Yeah. But who, is that Matthew Macklin?
Yeah. It's been sold, the business now.
Yeah. But you can tell it's been sold.
Yeah.
Because it's up another level. Like,
yeah.
It just looks so pro the way they're doing everything from getting in investors, getting in.
Even like, say, Mick Collins' homecoming is in June. What they're doing now as well is, because they've signed so many fighters, they're able to. It's easy when you're in the same management company. It's easy to match the fighters. So, say in June 30th now, you have Declan Geraghty and John O'Carroll fight.
Right.
Brilliant fight. Like,
Yeah.
everyone wants to see that. Like, I'd be going up to watch that more so than the
just a spectator.
Yeah,
right.
Amazing fight. And then you have Phil Sutcliffe and Tyrone McKenna, which is another, both MTK fighters. So the beauty of having so many fighters is you can match that kind of quality. Same as my fight. Like,
I get you, yeah.
Conrad Cummins, and he was MTK.
Is he?
Yeah, so they're just ringing us up. Do you want to fight? Whereas with two rival, obviously, management companies, they won't actually match their fighters, or they won't work with each other. Do you get me?
Wow. Yeah, I never. Because I suppose. Yeah, I get you now. Yeah.
So, like, whatever, one promoter won't work with another promoter. One, you know what I mean?
There's always going to be friction,
MTK have the beauty of working with all different promoters as well. So they have their fighters fighting with, say, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, and you also have fighters with Frank Warden BT, which is kind of unheard of as well, you know. So you have options.
That is
America then as well. Like, it's amazing.
How are your eyes after the
watch? Bad, yeah.
They look good.
That one got a slight infection, so it's not healed as well. But a couple of weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, will be alright. I was cut before, and they never reopened, so I healed well. It was just clash of heads. Both times.
Because he said it was a punch, didn't he?
But the first one, the ref came in, and that's what was a bit of iffy in the corner. If it's caused by a punch, different say associations have different rules. Like, so it could have went to a non-decision. Like, you know, that kind of way. It could have caused it because it was caused by a punch, and the people were kind of talking back saying, "Oh, they could have stopped the fight, and it would have went to scores, and it would have won easy." But at the same time, if that had happened, people could have said, "Look, Conrad would have come on strong in the second half of the fight. I wouldn't have got the credit I had." You know what I mean? They said, "Oh, look at this, whatever." Like, he would have come on strong. The win wouldn't have been as good if it didn't last. You know?
I get you, yeah.
So I was delighted that it went on. You know,
because the picture I put up, I totally ripped it off your Instagram, like. But it was a good one to put up, like. And it's of you, and you could stick your fucking finger into those cuts, like. How the hell did he stop it in 5 seconds, like? What's he filling it with?
That was you just wipe it clean and they use adrenaline, so you get a bottle of adrenaline. Before you go into the corner. The cut man Niall Bourne done a great job. Like, he got great feedback and praise for it, but rightly so as well. You know, like, he was good.
Those were some cuts, like.
And the beauty, like, you have a cut man in your corner. So the beauty of having a cut man in the corner, sometimes the coaches do the cuts.
Yeah.
Like, the cut man can just go into work, and then you have
the coach still giving his coaching.
It's instructions. So it's important to have that, because all little 1%'s in it.
Oh,
whereas
man.
they're struggling, dropping adrenaline, or just and trying to give instructions.
But it's not like you have 10 minutes in the corner. You got 30 seconds pretty much in the corner to work it.
When you get back. So it's kind of, and it's peace of mind as well. Going forward, say this does reopen, you know, you have a guy in the corner
who can get it. Yeah. When did you start boxing?
When I was 8.
8?
Yeah.
Jesus. Did you ever play any other sports, or was it just
no,
this
boxing? Brutal. I was bad at everything else.
But it just hit people.
I'm a natural athlete, I played football. The brother was very good at football. He done a small bit of boxing. But no, I wasn't great at anything else, you know.
And which gym did you start with? Where are you from?
From Ballyfermot. I started in St. Matthew's Boxing Club. So I actually popped down and seen the old coach. He's 87. Don't know what he's saying, but I dropped down.
I did. You put it up on Instagram,
shadow boxing. He's solid still.
He still looks it. He's square jawing him still, like.
Solid man. He's telling him to hit me in the stomach.
Jesus.
He says, hit me in the stomach, and I was like that. And he's like, hit me hard. Hit me harder. And he's solid, like, still does 500 sit-ups a day.
Stop.
Yeah. He showed me the little gym. He moved from Ballyfermot to Trim. And I kept meaning and going down to see him.
Yeah.
In that kind of way, and I was just caught up. You get caught up and stuff, don't you? But he's, I said, geez, I better go down. He's 87, like.
You never know, yeah.
But he's got to go another few years.
Yeah, he sounds like he's made of iron, like.
Yeah.
But some of them old boxers, man, you still know they could land a punch, like.
Oh, yeah. You see videos. The last thing you lose.
Yeah.
You know, we'll have that every day.
Yeah, you're back on the side. You're back on the side.
That was good.
And the change, because when I met you, we met in Pascal's gym, Celtic Warrior.
Yeah.
And was there enough on Pascal's hands you went, no, I need to sharpen this up a small bit? Cause
yeah, well, I kind of, like, I changed management company, and then the change of the management company, I went to P. Taylor as well. Like, he's kind of working with a couple of guys.
That's Katie's father, isn't it?
Katie's father, and I can't thank him enough. Like, you know, some man, like, so passionate, Like, I didn't give him the credit. like without training with him, I just, a lot of people just presumed like Katie's this one-off freak athlete. Like, but there's a lot behind it, you know. The father gave up his job, kind of dedicate himself to her.
That's unbelievable.
Successful business.
Yeah.
He's an electrician, and the work he's doing with us, he's doing 2 sessions a day with us, and it's nearly like he has a point to prove, kind of, in a way, you know, that kind of way.
That
again.
I guess.
You know, so it's amazing the work he's doing with us, and I just fell in there, and I'm very, very fortunate to, you know.
Yeah. So, what's your typical? When did you go back? Is it today's your first day back?
Today's my first, 4:00 today. I'll go back. So we'll start off 1 session a day. My next fight I'm hoping to get on is Frampton's undercard in Windsor Park, August 18th. So there's football stadium up there. So I'm going to get me a big fight on that. Talking about opponents. So there's a plan in place now. Like, so August, big fight, another ranked fight up the ladder.
You want to get somebody in the top 10
now? Yeah, so they're getting someone that mention names, working on that. Then probably December, another ranking guy, and then I'm not far off at the world title fight. Then, you know.
Beautiful. And where you just picked up the WBO
European, so we'll be probably 9. The rankings haven't been released yet.
Yeah, but you'll be in the top 10 yourself.
The I beat was 9, and I beat him well, kind of. So I could. The rankings is funny.
They're
as well.
weird, aren't they? Like, technically,
boxing is crazy. Like, I see in rankings. Just give you a story. They say all of a sudden, like, the champion wants to fight this guy, and he's ranked, say, 30 in the WBO.
Yeah,
and he loses a fight, and all of a sudden he goes up the rankings. That's how crooked
what?
Boxing is. Yeah. Like, they just shoot the rankings. Just say you have to be in the top 10 to defend against them. So there's cases of that. Say some boxing writers would have done it, they'd be like searching through and they'd see, right, he was ranked 30, and then all of a sudden, because he needed to be top 15, they just push him up the rankings.
Stop. Yeah, and this is writers can do this, like.
You're just looking back through and they can see the rankings 1 month, and then the rankings change all of a sudden, and he didn't even have a fight. Or he could have lost a fight.
That's unreal.
Yeah, that's how corrupt it is.
Yeah. I suppose, what can you do? Like, but it does. I think boxing's kind of having a bit of a resurgence, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems to be. Yeah,
like publicity wise, anyway. And this is somebody from the outside. I mean, you've been stuck in it forever, like. But I mean, somebody from the outside, it seems to be getting a bit of a resurgence, like, which is great.
Eddie Hearn is flying, and then because of that, say, rivalry with Warren, like, and they're signing with BT. A lot of people at BT now with the Premiership.
Of course, and BT.
That's huge. He's at getting Tyson, Frampton. Like, they be doing their own pay-per-view events, so it's always healthy to have that kind of rivalry, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, of course it is, like, because it drives it on. Then, like, you know, who was your man that became a woman? Was that Frank?
He was
another
Malone,
Frank.
Yeah,
Frank
he's not
Malone.
doing a lot now. I don't think he might be back down managing. Yeah, Darren Sullivan was with him, wasn't he?
He was. That's it.
Yeah.
But it's like, what's the crack? Like, is he rocking into the gym? Like,
I don't know.
All right, lads.
I don't think he's involved that much now, to be honest.
Yeah, it'd be tough enough business to stay in.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Fuck's sake.
I was going to ask you what's the maddest bastard you ever met in boxing, but hey, there we go. Like, who's like? Yeah, have you come across? Because do you know, an interesting character I met was Ray Moylett. He was an interest. He seems like a bit of a mad bastard, like.
Yeah, that's Westport, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's as soon as he told me where he was from, I went, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
You're from wild out west, like, yeah.
So he's doing great, isn't he, Ray?
Yeah.
He's building nicely in America. They've good support there, and he's also signed to Assassins Boxing. They're actually running shows back here.
Are they?
The Last Man Standing. Did you see that? Did you? Roy
yes.
Sheen won it.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of publicity about that at the moment. The Roy still hasn't been paid for winning that. Did you see that?
No.
So he won the Last Man Standing, and he hasn't been paid. This is good material for you. This is
great stuff. We're getting exclusives here, like, yeah.
You know, it was all over social media, but the two promoters are kind of arguing among themselves.
Who owes him, like, a what?
Yeah. So I don't know the details. You can't comment who's at fault, you know. But
Jesus.
Imagine winning that, taking 5 or 6 weeks off work, and not getting paid.
Oh, here. Yeah.
That's boxing, isn't it?
That's box. That's Jesus Christ. Like, I mean, you're like, I suppose these days, as you said, you're gone with MTK now, and you're probably being spoiled a bit, like, in that it's so nice, like, you know what I mean?
I like some of the say the two guys in the gym, they be like, I went through it for 4 years. The other side of things, seen it kind of.
Yeah.
They signed directly with MTK, and not that they'd have any complaints or that, but like they're spoiled, as you said.
Yeah, you know, you're good.
You don't realise, like, you know,
like you've seen the mad shit.
Yeah,
like.
I'm seeing like I was breaking me bollocks selling tickets.
Yeah.
To say, like the way boxing works in Ireland, you have to sell tickets or you don't fight. Do you get me? Like, so no matter who you are, so you basically you get an allocation of tickets and you have to cover your opponent coming in, and then you cover, say, money towards the show, and then you get paid yourself, like, if you sell enough tickets. That's how boxing works. So
man.
Unless you sell 100 tickets, like the promoters that are signing up fellas today, they're probably asking the guys, can you sell 100 tickets, like, as much as ability, like.
Yeah.
Because it's just all a business for them. And you can't blame them, because in fairness, there's high fees to run a show. Like, I remember looking at the figures, like the pay Boxing Union of Ireland insurance thing. It doesn't add up. The figures don't add up for running shows. So these are just normal guys trying to run a show, and they're getting slated. Then, these are robbing me, you know. But you can I can understand.
Yeah.
I can understand. But like, you just have it's a thankless job that they're doing. See, the guys like, say, Boxing Ireland, they're running good shows in Dublin, but like, they're just getting slated. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of ticket deals and they're making money, but people just presume, you know, you're getting robbed. No matter what you do, even like MTK, they can't do enough for you. People be saying, like, they get you a world title fight in a million, say, right?
Yeah.
Like, fighters that turn around, I should have got 2 million for that.
Yeah, of course.
You're a thankless job. Yeah. Something I'd never do.
Yeah.
If you be coaching, and they'd have the love for you for coaching, but as soon as there's money involved, it's just fucking, people don't like, not that they're not educated, but it's a thankless job, isn't it?
Come here, like that night I saw you in the stadium. It was something to behold for a social study, like, just sitting in the audience, like, and I must have found the only two fucking normal blokes. I happened to be sitting beside them, and the lads lived up the road, and they went, "No, we pop in here the whole time when there's fights on, because, you know, and we'll head into town for a couple of pints afterwards." It was a great way to start the night, because look, you're getting to see fights and all the rest of it, but just look around, and it was fucking unbelievable. Like, there was lads up. Every second fella thought he was Nidge. Do you know what I mean? They're up. They're on.
That's the boxing.
Dude, they're on the phone and they're giving the strut, and you know they're talking to fucking nobody about nothing. You could say, and the young ones are up there, and the arse is hanging out and the tits out everywhere, and they're walking around. And then
they're probably all Wi-Fi, yeah.
Then you see. Well, to be fair, I'm generalising. This is the people that were kind of around me. Then in front of me there was about 20 travellers. And fuck me, every one of them was the greatest expert on fighting. Yeah. And they were not seeing what was happening at all. Yeah. You remember one fella, he this greasy kind of curly, like 1980s Jerry curl kind of hair, and he was turning around to me the whole time. Never met the man in my life. He was going, "Do you see that, do you? Do you see that? No, what he's doing there? No." And you're going, "Man, just shut the fuck up."
Just making noise.
Just making noise. And then what I noticed was nobody could sit still when it wasn't the fight that they went to see.
No interest.
They couldn't sit still. They were up, they were fucking down, they were back, they were forward. It was like, you need a big fucking school teacher with a stick going around. Shut up the fuck, there's fights on.
You wouldn't want to be doing security at the would you?
Oh man. I just wouldn't do it, because there's no point. But it was funny because I think the Traveller lad was fighting
Stevie Collins.
Collins.
Yeah. Huge win for them with the name, like, that'd be amazing.
Sure. But about 200 people just stood up and walked out. It's like, as soon as that fight was done, it was
straight to the bar. Probably.
Straight to the bar.
Same as the guy who won, probably. Yeah,
fucking carnage. Yeah. It's like
some win for him. Did a lot of money in the bookies as well. And that he was an underdog, Paddy McDonough.
Was he?
Big money. Did big money bets I heard on that one.
They love the betting, though, don't they?
Yeah, did big money bets on McDonough. I remember actually, I was in Celtic Warriors at the time, and all of a sudden, like, we were training in Celtic Warriors. There's an influx of travelling lads.
What's that?
Yeah, for the fight. They're asking, "What do you think? Will Stevie do it?" You know,
trying to get the inside. Alright, yeah.
Yeah, there's some of that going on. And then they're feeding information back. So I'd say the bookies were hit for it. You know?
Big stuff, yeah.
But Stevie in that fight, for instance, Stevie, he lost an awful lot of weight to make that light heavyweight limit. So he boxed at cruiserweight, Stevie Collins. And he's like the father, come forward, takes a brilliant shot and busy kind of fire, and like, I sparred against him. I was backing Stevie to win, but sometimes he didn't make the weight right. He lost too much. Like it happened to me in that Darden fight.
Do you lose power?
You lose, yeah. It's a science making weight. So
yeah,
there's a science to it. Like if you don't make it correctly, you don't recover in time for the fight.
Makes sense.
You're losing a lot of weight. So he probably had to lose, say, the week of the fight, probably 14, 15 pounds.
Jesus Christ, a stone.
Yeah. So you do it in kind of war. It's called water loading. So it's the MMA guys kind of brought it in. So you trick the body. The week of the fight. So you drink, say, 6-7 litres of water a day, say Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So it's basically the reason you're at is the body thinks it's getting water in, so it'll release the water. Do you get me? When it comes to dehydrating and hot baths, so it's like the brain actually thinks it's getting this water in. So that's the trick with the water load. So I wouldn't use it to an extreme. I'd probably lose 4 or 5 pounds on it, but I'd get in. Say for my fight, for instance, I didn't train the day before, so like there was no point in me training, losing weight the day before, being dehydrated and sleeping. You leave it to the last minute before the weigh-in to lose the weight. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So I could have went to bed and I could have done a sweat session, say the Thursday night of the weigh-in. But instead of doing that, I said, look, I just loosened out, stretched, didn't lose any weight, went to bed, got a scalding hot bath, put Epsom salts in it, it's called, and got in the bath, in for 10 minutes. Weight just dropping on me. Like this is not real weight; it's just fluids, basically.
Fluid, so it just pulls it out of your pores. Is that Epsom salts? That's all. That's what it does. Yeah.
So I done that for 10 minutes. Jumped out, stepped on the scales, 2 pound down.
What? From 10 minutes of that?
Yeah.
It pulls
scald and you're like red down it. Yeah,
but it pulled 2 pounds out of it.
Yeah, so back in for another 10 minutes.
Oh my god!
So I lost the 4 pound that morning, but I was still fresh. Like it's just tricking the body, kind of.
Yeah.
The body thinks it's getting really low. If the old way of doing it, say when we were in the amateurs making weight, you'd be losing weight the whole week. You get me? You're wearing sweat bags the whole week. You're going in Monday losing weight, Tuesday losing water, and you're dehydrated and you don't recover as quick. Now the beauty of the pro game is it's a day before weigh-in, so you have 36 hours
to get your weight back on,
straight back in. So we have these drinks made up basically. So.
Electrolytes and that kind of stuff.
Electrolytes, the electrolytes in them, salts to absorb the water. Like I'd stand on the scales, and within a few hours, I'm up 10 pound. Like,
Jesus.
Yeah. So each liter is 2 pounds. So I'm taking in like every hour I take in a liter.
Yeah.
With all these salts and the electrolytes and sugars in it, and you can actually, if you step on the scales and take a photograph, and then a few hours later. Your size grows, kind of, you know.
Of course, you swell out, you puff out, yeah.
But it's only fluid that you're losing.
Yeah.
But some guys, even MMA guys, do it, and you see them stepping on the scales, they're dead on the weight, they're nearly getting lifted onto it. Like there's gonna be health impacts to that extreme.
Your liver,
like 4 or 5 pounds. You see, like McGregor when he was making 145.
He was hideous. He looked like a scarecrow.
Yeah. He was dropping, say, 8. Like, I think I'd seen a documentary, he's like 9 kilos the week before he drop.
What?
Yeah. And they get hooked up to IVs then, so they get rehydrated quicker. They were banned. It's crazy stuff. So they're going to see, like, there was a couple of deaths over it.
There was, yeah. I heard that. But they're going to have to create more belts, like, really, more divisions, aren't they? Like,
yeah, or even, say, IBF brought in a thing where they brought in a 10 pound limit the next morning. So you can't be more than any 10 pound, but the way in the 10 pound and putting it at 5 or 6 pound on, it's kind of, I don't know how they'll do it, but they'll have to monitor it. Now in fairness, we had a check weight on, so you have to be within 2% of your weight, or 3% I think it was, say 3 days before the fight. So there's little things getting brought in, so
you can't rush it down,
you can't go too high because you 3 days before. Like there's little things like safety measures like that they'll have to do. You know? It's
fucking mad that they actually have to do that. Like, you know what I mean? I suppose fellas will just fight for they'll do whatever they can.
Every little edge. So all of a sudden, just say guys that aren't doing that water load and blown up like me, say I'm putting on 14, 15 pounds, but every fighter's putting on 14.
Yeah.
But just say we have a fighter in the gym, Davey Oliver, Joyce, who's in the Olympics. You'd probably know
yeah.
He's boxing at lightweight now, and he's making it so easy. Like he's walking around, he's used to, say, being in the amateur circle where he's like you have to weigh in every day and fight, so he doesn't want to be too much over the weight.
Of course,
Whereas with the pros, you have 36 hours to recover.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Whereas say he's going to the Olympics, he's weighing in that morning and fighting, so you can't lose that much water.
So he's just got that
he's just that in his mindset. But He was recently said he was over sparring with John O'Carroll, who's the same weight, and John O'Carroll is walking around, I say, 4 or 5 kilos heavier than him because he's doing the water load.
Yeah.
So he's naturally bigger. So Davey Oliver now recognises that, and he's going down in a weight division. But it's so easy he's doing it. Like, see what I'm talking about? I'm losing £5 in the morning of a fight.
Yeah.
Like, that's a weight division. Do you get
of course it is. Yeah.
Whereas he's waking up in the morning and he's on the weight and he doesn't have to do that.
So he may as well go back down.
He's not going up as much as me in terms of weight.
Of course, yeah.
So he's only gaining, say, 3 or 4 pounds.
When you're gaining 14.
I'm gaining 14. But the guy that he's fighting, everyone's doing it.
So he may as well go back down.
He has to go down. So he's kind of learning that. And sometimes you have a mindset where you think, oh, Jesus, I couldn't lose another 2 kilos. But it's only fluids, isn't it? Like, it's
yeah. And
so
if you can do it safely,
drop down and he'd be bigger and stronger at the weight, you know.
Because that was the thing. I was like, McGregor was fucking cutting everybody. You're going to 145, making yourself a rack, but you're walking back into the fucking cage at 170 nearly. Like, do you know? Like, it was a bizarre thing. Like, it's like, how can that be allowed?
Extreme,
like,
innit?
It's too extreme, but it's too extreme then because he's fighting fellas who are probably meant to be in that division. Like, do you know who
they
probably
come as extreme? Yeah,
they come back
different
in
sizes.
They come back in. They're 155 or something fighting. Like,
and he's 15 pounds on him.
Yeah, you know. So
you have to regulate it more. You need to. The only way of doing it, I suppose, is doing a weigh in closer to the fight, and you can only rehydrate so much. Do you know the way? Then fighters won't go to them extremes, or they'll have to just move up in weight category. Had you ever any notions of the MMA world yourself when it started to become so popular? Like, it's another sport again. It is, I suppose. Yeah, it's apples and oranges, isn't it? Boxing, yeah, like it's you see the success of it. Say, Jesus, have a go at that kind of. But no, like it's you have to learn. They learn. It's like 4 or 5 different sports. Don't of course, affect that. Years of that. Jesus, I'm only getting the time to get into boxing. What did you make of the time McGregor fought Mayweather? Like, because I like the argument was that it was good for boxing to actually expose boxing again because it was a huge event and he got 100 million. Like, you can't criticise it. Like, it's amazing. And then a guy from Crumlin, you know what I mean? Yeah. From Crumlin Boxing Club, he was there at the beginning. But anyone in the boxing world knew he was kind of losing. Yeah, of course. How are you going to fight a man who's the guy? Like, in fairness, like Mayweather was 40. He's like probably a couple of weight divisions below, say, on the night, because he was only welterweight Mayweather. Yeah. And then his hands were bad as well. So I just presumed Conor would gas. You know, not used to doing them rounds. So of course, when we're pros, like, we go 4 rounds, 6 rounds. You do a few 6 rounders. You ease up to an 8 rounder. So 2 or 3 8 rounders. He went in from, say, 3 round MMA fights to a 12 round fight. Bananas. So it's not physically possible. So you had a big bet that he'd get like a stoppage, like a stoppage, and I told everyone to put a bet on it. So it's not physically possible for someone to go in. He was gassing in MMA fights. Do you know that kind of way? So it's not like he's this freak athlete that has this amazing engine. Like, some of them come along, like you see Stephen Army's a freak engine. Like, so there's some guys that just have these freak engines. Like, the way I looked at it was McGregor kind of got tired in some of his fights. Don't know whether it's from making weight or whatever. Like, he just didn't have this freak engine. So how was he going to do? Well, he was going rounds? He was just going for a knockout. How was he going to do 12 rounds? Yeah, without conditioning your body to that. Like, how long would that take? Do you think? Would it take 2 years? It could take a year, 2 years. Yeah, to do it right. Like, but he went in. He gave a good account himself in them rounds, didn't he? Like, he landed well. Even though Mayweather was getting on at 40. He was still he's still untouchable. Like, you know, I personally watching it, I was going, McGregor or Mayweather is making a show of this because McGregor or Mayweather doesn't want to knock him out in the first round. No, he wants the public even more. Well, not even that he could have. Like, people said, he could have knocked him out any time. Mayweather's not a big puncher. I suppose his hands are bad. Like, as much as he doesn't have that, like, I'll knock you out punch. He suppose he doesn't. He could have jumped on him and landed and put sustained pressure and probably got the stoppage quicker. But probably, like, say, 3 or 4 rounds quicker. But as you said, it's like they're getting 100 million for it, and people are paying to see it. Why would you make it like 2 or 3 rounds? Yeah, exactly. Make a show. Like, Conor landed some nice shots within them rounds, didn't he? Like, you're not kind of he landed a beautiful uppercut. He actually did. He's an uppercut. Like, he's. You'd be happy with it yourself? Beautiful ability, like, but it's not physically possible to do 12 rounds. That conditioning, you know what I mean? It's just not. Well, as you said, he was burning out even in the MMA world. You know?
And for the likes of that, the argument was that it was good for boxing. I think it was in that crossover. Why not get more people looking at boxing? Like
huge event, wasn't it? They're talking about another one, aren't they? I don't think they'll buy it again.
They probably won't, but it's good to talk about it.
Yeah, because we're out there and it
gets lines. But see, I even notice now, fellas like are they're talking more about boxing because it's a purer thing. Like, you know what I mean? There's no two ways about it. Like, because anybody on the fence would go, fuck MMA. It's a mixed bag of everything. Like, I did MMA and I did martial arts for 18 years, but I would still go, yeah, grand, it's a sport, whatever. Like, but for me, I can kind of see it it's almost, you know, like how hipsters are like, it's almost being a bit hipster about it. Yeah, you can like MMA, but I'm a boxing man myself because it's more pure. And I've noticed people kind of going, yeah, no, MMA, yeah, no worries, yeah, no, I'm boxing because it's the oldest martial arts in the Western world anyway, like in white people's world, like, you know.
Whether they enjoy it or not, they're just kind of putting that slant on it.
Do you know what? I would urge anybody to go to a night like when I went to see you fight that night.
You're taking the whole event, dude.
I was loving it.
People watching.
I was loving it because like I obviously know. I knew Stevie, I knew Ray, and I knew Stephen Orman wasn't fighting that night. No, and I knew you. And that was all I knew. Yeah. So, but I was watching the other fights, but it was as well as that. I was watching
the event,
I was loving the whole event. I was going, me coming from my world and seeing how they do, say something like the Ivy Gardens, you know, how they do promotions on a major scale. I was like, fuck, with a few tweaks, you could make this very interesting.
But that's it.
A few tweaks. And obviously you're talking about MTK have spotted this.
Yeah, they're doing amazing things, but there's a guy coming in, new into the market, guy Jay Bourne, and he did a press conference recently for a show. He's working with Assassin Boxing.
Right.
He ran the last man, and he ran that press conference very professionally. And as you said, like a few tweaks and hours, like there was another guy, Craig McCarthy, his promoter ran a show down in Waterford, and like it's just about someone putting the hours and the effort and the graft in behind it, you know,
because there's a fine line between like amateur hour and looking shit hot, isn't it? Like it's
even say in the UK MTK run shows. There's a guy that runs the MTK shows in London, and he runs them amazing. Say their events, like it's as much about the promotion and the background scenes, you know.
Well, that's it. I think what they like that night, for the minimalist that I would be in the way of being known, it was, now Pascal had said come along to it, but did they call themselves Red Corner?
Yeah, Red Corner, yeah.
Red Corner have hit me up a few times since going, would you like to come to this one? Because I met somebody there from Red Corner that night, but what had happened was a few of the Nidge lads had copped me from Damon Ivor. And then before you, a fucking queue had formed for photographs, and the two lads that was sitting beside me hadn't a clue who I was. They were laughing their bollocks off going, who do they think he is?
Totally.
But it was from that point of view, and I said, you need to be getting, whatever about me.
Yeah.
You need to get people, look, you need to get people with big Instagram accounts. I don't.
Yeah.
But Instagram's where it's at.
And put it out there.
Put it out there. Like, you take, like, two lads that I had on the podcast here, they're called the Two Johnnies, right? They're two lads. Now, they're starting to get serious now because they're making good money from it, but they were messing about. One of the lads, I think he's a butcher, the other lad makes hurleys for a living, but they were both kind of musicians. They came together and they were mad for GA, and they were just doing funny Snapchat fucking stuff and short clips, like sketches. And then they wrote a couple of songs. Fucking Snapchat just fucking swarmed on them, loved them. Now they get paid to go to every GA match in the football and hurling throughout the entire country.
Because they're advertising.
And the lads, they hang around, they're contracted to hang around for like an hour and a half afterwards, they're signing more fucking jerseys than the players. They're Snapchatting the whole way through the game, going, just some point.
It's building the crowds.
And bringing value. And people, they bring value to it.
Definitely, yeah. Look, that's obviously the lads mentioned that. Even the likes of, say, John Connors, he's a huge follower.
Yeah.
He was up, like MTK recognised that. He was up ringside at the fights. I was actually supposed to see him for a point. He was messaging me. He was a good fighter, actually, John Connors.
Was he?
Yeah, he boxed. I think he won an Irish title.
Actually, in that film Carbo Gangsters, he puts together a combo there on that wall. He looks like he knows what he's doing.
He could throw a punch. Definitely, yeah. Nice guy, John. But like the likes of them fellas at the events, as you said, they bring value to it, and they bring a crowd.
Because there's nothing like legitimacy to a thing, like, you know what I mean? Like when there's all of a sudden, like that's who I think would be a very fast and, for the one, cheap way. Because a couple of quid, you get somebody in who really enjoys boxing. Fuck, it just legitimizes it. Like I was there. I went to I don't know, did you ever meet Richard Kiley? He's an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
And Richard was on the podcast as well. He said, you know what, come to the next Fight the Bama event.
Yeah,
he says, he's...
They're big events, isn't it?
Big events in the 3 Arena, you know, because... And I had... Now, in fairness to him, he got me amazing seats. He set me right, and I couldn't stay there. I couldn't stay there for longer than 20 minutes because the level of dick that was around me, like, was just... because there was too much confidence. To get me, like, everybody was strutting. Now, we all know why they had that.
Ego.
Oh, well, we know why they had that ego. It wasn't just... they were bringing a friend to the party called Charles, like... But this is like... But it was women and men. It was like... And nobody... Like, they were fucking Snapchatting while fights were going on with the... And I'm going, can you just... Fucking now, this probably me being a hipster about it, like going, can you just turn around and actually watch the fucking fight?
There's actually ego involved in you passing comment about that.
You know,
not
like,
enjoyed it,
what the fuck are you doing? Like, and I met 2 mates who were about 5 rows back, and they had a seat beside them, so I went up and sat with them. Like, but it was again, now they like while it's in the 3 Arena and everything, it wasn't packed to the rafters, and it could have been like had they gone about. Now, I recognise 1 or 2 people that were there. But they weren't very current in a lot of ways. Like, and even at that, like, I remember one fella, he was from California, I think he was.
Right,
he was shiny, like, you know what I mean? He was just fucking glisteningly shiny. You know, he was just ridiculous tan, his eyebrows were done and stuff. And he must have walked in with like 6 women, all with bits of their body hanging out somewhere, like, and you're going, dude, you look like a fucking douchebag. What are you doing? Like, and he got ticked because where I was sitting, lads on the other row beside me copped me again.
Yeah,
and they were,
like that,
and he's fucking pulling. These lads queued up for a photograph. You could see him kind of just, and he's all full of muscles and stuff. It's like, dude, relax, will you? Relax. I think that was him. And it was, I'm sure he wasn't. He was probably going, who the fuck's your man? Like, you know what I mean? Is he their dealer or something? Like, oh, what's the story? Like, but in that instance, I was kind of going, like, Richard had the right idea too. He was going, no, it'd be good to have you. You know, and I wanted to see it too because I'm good friends with Will Fleury, a fellow who trains out of SBG as well. And Will's a gas bastard. Like, he won't go. He can't get in for any of that kind of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? But it needs to be done to bring it. Especially, I think boxing needs it because
it's all social media. Isn't it?
It's all social media.
It's huge, isn't it?
Like I see now. I mean, like Spike has a big following himself. Huge following.
He's getting fights off the back of that as well. You know.
He knows that.
It's black and white for sponsors as well. Even like they just look at your account.
That's all.
Watch your interactions. How many it's that black and white. You know, like. You have to be more active. Something I don't do. Like, I'm not active enough on social media.
He pays somebody to look after his watch. Now, I think he does his Instagram himself and his Twitter, but as far as Facebook, he leaves that to a professional.
Yeah, you need to,
And they're posting something relevant every day. Every day.
You have to push content out, don't you?
Content. They're just putting up something. They're searching the internet for interviews, articles, and just putting it up every day. Yeah. And all of a sudden, there's 120 likes under it, and it's keeping relevant. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's what I was saying at the beginning of this. Like, you don't know. I mean, yourself and Spike are extremely good boxers, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that. You know, as we said, like people, if you've got a good profile, people will buy your tickets. You said it yourself that lads have to sell tickets.
Yeah, you have to sell tickets, but with boxing, if you have a huge following, so people like if you have a huge following that are paying for tickets, the promoter will protect you and kind of get the fights in. You're the cash cow.
Yeah.
You know that kind of way. Like that's why Canelo was held back for so long, say before the Golovkin fight.
Yeah.
They're just feeding them. Nobody's selling out stadiums. So why would you risk it? You know that kind of way?
Of course, yeah.
But he's at taking the step up, obviously. But it's as much a business. It's interesting, isn't it? Like the boxing world.
Yeah, if you could know the intricacies of it. But I mean, if you could, they need to quickly set their sights, which would, like I said, in the likes that like red corner stuff like that, just for the Irish.
I'm not sure if they've finished or not. Boxing Ireland are doing a good thing, but they need to be more proactive, as you said, like getting even paying, like as much as it probably kills people to pay someone, you know, that kind of way.
In
but
the long run.
off, doesn't it? Yeah.
In the long run.
They're the long run kind of. They're that building, say 5 or 6 shows. They need to be investing in. What you said. Like,
yeah.
Because they're half empty stadiums. They're not filling the stadium. You know, that kind of way. It's just
it is tough to set aside that because if the accountant looks at it and goes, "What's a fucking €1,000 for fucking Johnny? Fucking what's that about?" Yeah. Are you going? Well, he put 100. See, there's 100 seats in that row there. Yeah, he sold those fucking tickets. I mean, it is on black and white. You gotta put. That's all. I think that's because it's a shame that people don't like that night. And like that, these 2 lads that lived next door that I was sitting beside, they had a great idea. Tickets are cheap. You see, you get to see an enjoyable bit of crack. the night is over early enough that you can tip on down.
People don't know that it's even there. Like
they don't know. They
It's
think it's
not
a fucking
even
bingo
on.
hall beside it. Like.
They don't. There's no money spent, say, in newspapers. Not that even people buy newspapers now. It's hard to actually get out there, isn't it? Kind of without TV.
The only way is social media.
Yeah, social media.
And you need the influencers telling people like.
Yeah,
that's who you need.
I suppose you have to pay them then, don't you?
You got to pay them. You got to pay them, but that's cheaper than any newspaper because
and it's getting more of a.
I'm telling you, I saw this thing a couple of.
Who would you recommend now for the shows? This is for Boxing Ireland and that. Like, who would you get?
Who's got it? Like, I mean, you get somebody like your man Rory's Stories. I know he's primarily GEA.
Yeah.
But why not stick him on one night, see how it goes?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just kind of test the waters, isn't it?
Stuff like that. But you look around, like, I mean, you take somebody like a friend of mine, Leanne Moore, right? Huge following. And she owns a gym. She's from Limerick, but she's her boyfriend had been in California, but he totally kind of got, oh, fuck that. Like, he's not like that at all. Like, but they own a gym in Limerick. But, like, Leanne could sell a ticket anywhere for anything. People love her.
Yeah.
And she's old, like, she's walking around with an 8-pack. You know what I mean? Like, and same as himself, but they're lovely. They're normal people. They're not.
So for them to advertise on their social media, such and such events coming up, or raffling tickets, or
yeah. Well, I mean, they would like could be a test of water if there's a fight in Limerick. They would be the people to go to. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
so you just look at the demographic.
The demographic.
You do some research and get them in.
Just look at the hashtag. Yeah. Boxing Ireland.
Yeah.
And just go, well, who's liking a lot of this shit? Like, do you know what I mean? And find out, like...
And the people do it in goodwill as well, as much as...
A lot of the time they do, like...
Yeah, look, there's 2 ringside seats there, can you come along?
Well, I was more than happy to come along that night, because it was like, this is great. This is a good way to spend a Saturday evening, you know? And I had a gig...
And bringing value.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I'd be fucking nobody, like, relative to... Definitely, I don't follow the influencer side of... You know what I mean? I don't fucking Instagram like crazy, like, so I don't... And plus, I don't really have a narrative... Do you know, like, I don't have a set fitness narrative. Comedy is fine. People go, it's funny. But if people really believe in your shit, like they do when it comes to, say, like Leanne, she puts up inspirational shit. You know what I mean? I'm not going to inspire anybody. You know what I mean? Do you know, like, but it's just an example. Like, that would be something, a fast way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not joking with you. Like,
explode. Yeah, that's the way it's gone. That's the way the world's gone, isn't it? Kind of.
I went to do a gig down in Cork. I remember it was September last year, and it was part of the comedy festival down there. And I was headlining the show, and I walked in, and there wasn't a fucking poster. There was not. I'm like, "Are you fucking joking me, lad? Are you joking me, lads? This is." And it was opening night of the Oak, and I went, "No, we're sold out, sure." Yeah. I said, "How the fuck did you do that?" Snapchat.
Yeah.
And it were all
not on Snapchat.
I'm not on.
Is it?
I.
Because Instagram is Snapchat, so I just went off it. Kind of.
It's just the same thing. It's the same thing for me. It's the same thing. It's one or the other, but totally two different breeds of people follow you.
It's still going, Eddie. Yeah.
Oh, it's still going, and 2 different breeds. Now, since they changed the algorithm to it, or so they changed something to do with it, that you're only getting about a third of the viewers. Yeah. I don't know what happened, but Instagram will probably end up blowing it out of the water, buying it up, or something will happen. But you get 2 different breeds of people coming to it. Yeah. Instagram, it's all ages. Snapchat, it's probably from the age of 12 to 24.
Boring.
And that night in Cork, it was all people. There was a handful of people who had just bought tickets because they knew about it, but there was mostly people that were of the age of 21 to 24.
All on Snapchat.
See, kids don't look up at fucking posters. They don't look up at anything.
Look at the phone.
They're stuck in the phone, and they believe everything the phone is telling them. So if something pops up on Snapchat, they just go, well, that must be a thing to go to.
Yeah.
That must be a thing to go to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's unbelievable, like.
It's amazing in a business sense, yeah.
So when you see, things like that. And tell me this, what was it like, how long had you been with Celtic Warriors?
My whole pro career, so 4.5 years I was with Pascal, and he done amazing work with me, like he's an amazing coach, and but I was kind of at a stage like wanted to commit fully and just a change, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes a change, you learn different things from different coaches,
of course,
as well,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even say Pascal's brother Steve, he went to different coaches and he said it himself, like he wished me well and we're still friends.
Yeah,
you get me?
Like, Pascal be that sort of a fella. Yeah, he wouldn't be a grudge holding fella.
Before the fights and after the fights, he's wishing me well. It's just you learn different things from different coaches, and Pete is kind of with Pete.
Is he very technical?
He's technical. He's been around the high performance, say, for 12 years maybe. Going to camps in Ukraine and Cuba.
And he's created probably the greatest female boxer.
He has the blueprint for her, like in that kind of way, which is she's done, like.
Yeah.
So not saying he created it, but like he's been through that with her.
Yeah.
That kind of discipline, that passion, and even we'll say there's 3 of us in the gym. So in our gym in say Bray, there's me, or 4 of us. Sorry, me, Gary Cully, Dave Oliver, and Sean Turner.
Right.
So Sean Turner was missing with an injury, so there's 3 of us kind of working together. And just say, for instance, we'd a pad session one day, we'd get slots. So you come in at 10:30, you come in at 11.
Yeah.
I come in at 11:30. You know, you're getting a full half hour. Whereas in Pascal, you say 7 or 8 fighters, we're all there at the same similar times.
I get you. Yeah.
But not being critical of Pascal, I was working full time, so I'd be arriving late at 5 o'clock. You know, anyway, it was kind of all a combination of factors. And but I've gone to a place there in Bray.
It's like a fresh start, isn't it? Like, because you have
It's a couple of little tweaks that have changed me completely. Like, we do 2 sessions a day out in Bray, and even the running sessions. Like you'd say, we were saying walking together, like we're just kind of a new kind of team, but we'd say, I will do the running session at home. Yeah. But Pete's like, no, you're not going to push yourself at home. Like he's there with a stopwatch, and we're doing
different
say
story,
different story. You'd never do it at home. Nah. You'd never do it to the extreme. So just say we walked up to different sprinting regimes, but say that before the camp we done 10 800 metres with a minute interval, probably less than a minute interval, 45 seconds, because I would say 15 seconds slower than that. So we done 10 800 minutes within 3 minutes, like, so that's the kind of intensity, 3 minutes 800 metres. But say I was 15 seconds slower, so I'd start 15 seconds earlier than say the lads. You know, that kind of way. I'd have to go. I didn't want to be getting caught by them. It's bad enough giving them a 15 second, but like one of the guys that's there, Gary Cully, he's like 6'3", lightweight, like his feet don't even touch the ground.
Yeah, he's like a gazelle.
I'm competing against him, killing myself. So if you're doing that on your own, like you think you're at 100%, but you're only at like 90%.
Of course, you can. You feel like mentally.
One of Dave Oliver, he had a heart rate monitor on his hand, and you're up at 110%. The levels, like, so I'm killing myself in these running sessions. Like blackout job, like, you know, kind of way. But that's pushing me to new levels with the 2 lads beside me, pushing me that kind of way. And
where in the fight do you feel that? Do you feel that like in round 6? Do you know what I mean?
It's the way it is with boxing. It's all mental. So I'm ticking the boxes. I know I've done that.
So you're confident, like?
Yeah, you know you've done it. Whereas before I'd had doubts. Say when I came back, say I lost that fight in England. I came back then and I had a fight with Bradley Price was his name, and I hurt him. I dropped him in the fight, and instead of jumping on him and finishing him and leaving him, I had slight doubts that me tank wasn't there. Do you get me? Like,
I get
you, and like you're not going in to finish him. Whereas now, you know you've done the work, so you know you can do it. You're not going to That's the difference between. Like,
put more weapons in your arsenal too.
Amazing, I'm pushing through boundaries, and the way it is, I'm looking forward to get back into training, because I know in another 3 months to August, like, I'm going to go on another levels again.
It's exciting. That's unbelievable. That's great that you're looking forward to training, like, because you know.
I'll tell you the way my mindset was with a fight. I'd be counting down the weeks with camp, like, it's obviously sacrifice can't go in, and you're kind of just wishing away at the camp. Like, the mindset was
can't wait till the shit's over.
Now all of a sudden, with the pressure of walk off, my mindset is like, I'm driving to Bray and I'm enjoying driving to Bray.
Class.
I'm loving it. Like,
class.
Because I'm used to going to a building site. I'm going to a building site and getting in trouble for not having paperwork and getting phone calls.
I know that feeling.
I know that feeling. You know, that kind of way.
You're stressed out of your head.
I'm driving to do something I love. I say 11 o'clock is our first session, and I'm smiling there.
There's nothing like that moment, you know, when you're pulled up at the petrol station, like, and you're filling away, and you're delighted with yourself, and you're going off to training out as his class, and you look up and you see some poor bastard about your age. You know, his shirt is fucking hanging out, like, his suit is wrinkly, he's gone in, he's eating some shitty coffee and a donut. You know, he's got to take phone calls all fucking day in his company fucking van, and you're going.
He doesn't realise.
He doesn't realise how much he's. No, that's not saying.
You're nearly smug, and you're kind of looking at them.
Oh, I have to swallow my and go, shut the fuck up. Now here's the other side. We've both gone through the hard times too of what it takes to get to
10 years of walking to be in a financial position to give her up. Like,
yeah.
That kind of way. So we've seen all that, but I'm like. I'm looking at that, and I'm really smug looking at it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I'm seeing, say, Snapchats or stories that say, "Oh, workmates," and they're just grey in the face.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I met lads.
It's very lucky, you know. You're doing the same.
Unbelievable. Unbelievably lucky. What the fuck's sake? It's Thursday.
Thursday,
like
shopping.
We're sitting upstairs in the comedy club drinking tea, yapping. Eating fucking bickies, like You
kind of have to. What I was doing, you kind of have to be in the present with it. I kind of it just dawned on me, kind of. You need to enjoy the process.
Absolutely,
So I'm really enjoying the process.
Yeah, because it's very easy to, at times too, like I suppose, I don't know if it's an Irish thing or what, but it's very easy to kind of just focus on negative stuff too. Like, well, why the fuck aren't I getting this? It's like, no. Have a look at what you have right now.
Yeah,
it's pretty class.
Grateful. Wake up, be grateful.
Yeah.
You know? Getting all fucking
stressed out.
That's no, we're getting all that. That's all like a new thing now, isn't it? Like all this positive thinking. And
absolutely, though.
It's coming around, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like,
it's like a trendy as well, isn't it?
Well, you may as well, because what's the alternative?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Get pissed off with the weather. Like the amount of people, Jesus, it's still rain. You're like, yeah. So fucking what?
It's Irish.
We've got jackets. It's fine. Like, you know, you don't live outside. It's fine.
No, it's interesting. I'm kind of like. I'm very, very lucky to be doing something I love, and all of a sudden, like that fight that I won there is life changing in a way. Like, they're all going to be big fights.
Well, it affirms what you've been working towards, doesn't it? It's like, that actually confirms what I was.
Took the time off work. Say, I gave up my job, and that was like a payoff nearly. Look, it was the first time I actually felt that. I've achieved anything in boxing. Like, I was supposed to win that Irish title fight. Like, I was the favourite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't put the work in. There was no sense of achievement.
So you just cruised through it?
Not that I cruised through it. It was still a difficult enough fight, but because I didn't have all the sacrifices and didn't do it, it just felt like you're going after a fight. Say you're going back to the local pub and people are clapping. You're just like, I don't even feel like
I get what you're saying.
I don't even feel like I've done that. I just
what are you
felt
talking
embarrassed.
About? Yeah.
Because I didn't even commit fully.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed.
Well, that's good that at least you have that mindset. Because
like
another fella would be fucking delighted if he pulled off the smallest fucking thing. I'm class, aren't I? Like, you know what I mean? There has to be a level of reality too, like, you know.
I was just like, geez, there's nothing to it. I suppose you should have a sense of, but this is the first time I had a sense of achievement.
Sure, absolutely delighted.
I was chuffed, I was.
Yeah.
And it was life changing as well, like. It was emotional after the fight.
Yeah, of course. Like, well, it'd be weird if you weren't. Like, if you put in that much time and effort.
Yeah,
like.
Just gave a lot of sacrifices.
And it's also too, like, I mean, it's interesting like that. Like, you didn't walk away from a poxy job stacking shelves somewhere, like.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
It was a well-paid job, and what I did as well, which is interesting. What I did as well, like a lot of fighters go for broke kind of from the beginning.
Yeah.
But the pressure on them, I could only imagine the pressure on them. I walked right, and I bought a nice property, got in a good position that I'm financially stable, like I've done well with money, and I could take a step away from boxing, not needing to worry about bills, kind of.
I get you,
So I've done all that, plus with the backing of MTK. But could you imagine going into a fight, say my age 30, with none to go back on, no job, no house, and that's the difference between, like, this fight is the difference between, like, whatever your whole life, kind of.
I suppose some people would argue, well, you know, it's back to the wall stuff and all that. You gotta make it fucking work. But I would be of the opinion that as an athlete, especially, you need to be in a good headspace.
Yeah.
Because if you put too much emotion on a thing, you can blow out before you even go near it. Like, and that applies to. This is talking with a mate of mine. He played for Munster in Ireland. And he was talking like I think it was and they'd won European Cups and stuff, but he says, like, they got to a final, I think it was 2005. Actually, the night before they all were poor toast sitting around in the hotel and they were all saying what it means to them. Sure, he says, lads, we're balling and Everton beforehand. We were beaten before we ever went near the fucking pitch because they walked out against a bunch of French assassins who were just, it was another day in the park for them, like, you know, and they were spent mentally, like, you know what I mean? Because they put so much pressure on themselves.
Yeah, you just built. Well, funny that you say that. The exact same thing happened to Stephen Armand. Say, right, but he had like a plan in place.
The Rock.
Yeah, like an amazing fighter, but he had a bad loss there for the European title up in Belfast. His last fight, he got beaten, but he had a brilliant performance and he got robbed. Remember when he got robbed?
Yes,
Say the one before that, right? he lost to I can't think of the guy's name, but he had the worst performance of his career.
Was it an American? No,
it was up in Belfast. It was up in Belfast in the waterfront.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
for the
yeah.
European. Now I'll tell you exactly what was going on. He was to fight for the WO European title. Then he was to fight a world title eliminator. This is the plan in place. Then he's to fight for a world title. Do you get me? So he had this backing from NTK. This was in place, and all of a sudden he put all this pressure on himself, saying, "Right, it's in my own hands now." And he put all this pressure on himself. This is my last chance. This is my last chance.
Yeah.
He was nearly saying that over and over. Joe in the dressing room, and you could feel in the dressing room. I was in the dressing room with Stephen, and there was just an awful tension about it.
I get you. Yeah,
Do you know that kind of way?
yeah.
And he went in and he put so much pressure on that he just had the worst performance.
Just went into himself, like.
He just loaded up on everything. Didn't flow. It was just his worst performance. Just down to all the mental side of it. He kind of just said, like, this is my last chance. This is my last chance. This was like with Stephen. He put everything into boxing. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So he was like, say, top level amateur. Went straight into the pros. Signed. Like he did a different pathway to me, working, say, full time for 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of way. So he put all this pressure. Then all of a sudden, that was gone from him. And he had this big fight again against Paul Hyland on a Sky Sports show. So all the pressure's gone. Yeah. Like he was talking, like, that's me finished, I'm retired, I didn't do it. And then all of a sudden the pressure was off then.
Right.
And he was flowing in training. And he was actually working with a good sports psychologist who I work with, Alan Heardy, excellent guy, but he went back into camp, started working with him. So he took the pressure off.
That was going to be my next question, actually, about sports psychology.
It is. Like, I'll talk about Alan again, but the difference in the dressing room between the two fights, I was in the dressing room both fights, was amazing to see. You know, that kind of way. We went into the dressing room before, it was like you're walking out to like a beheading, kind of, like, it was just tension. It was awful feeling. Whereas the dressing room against Paul Hyland, who was a better fighter than the guy who beat him, was easy, relaxed. This is like, I'm just going to enjoy it. See this attitude. And you could feel it. You could feel it in there. Like, you could feel the difference. I knew he was winning walking out. We were walking out the ring. It was just by chance that I actually got into the dressing room. I got a pass, and it was good to see, because I fought in the Odyssey after. It was nice to actually experience that walkout, you know, with the crowd. Yeah. So all the crowd are abusing Stephen. We're in the corner, but it's amazing how much its mentality is involved in it in boxing.
But I suppose that's it. You give you a bit of a small bit of a mental tune up. You're like, all right, that's another thing I have to be prepared for. That's fine. Yeah, shut these fuckers out. Like, yeah.
So I walked with your man Alan Heardy, and say at the end of the session, he does say a 10-15 minute, like, it's like meditation, hypnotising you. So you take deep breaths, relax on the seat, and he's going through the fight step by step. So you're in the dressing room, you're warming up, your legs are light, you feel light, you know, your hands are getting wrapped. This is the best you've ever felt. This is just going into your subconscious. And then you're walking to the ring. Now the crowd are beyond. That's giving you energy, like, you know what I mean. Then you're in the ring. You've never felt better. Like, it's amazing. But it actually worked. If you look at photographs of my fight, I'm smiling walking to the ring.
I saw it,
in my subconscious.
You looked like a fella.
Yeah, I was smiling.
Yeah.
I was actually smiling. So amazing photographs. Whereas before them fights, the fight I lost against Dorn, I'm in the dressing room, and say it was for the WBC international title. It was Dorn beat me on a split decision in prize fight. This was me rematch. Your man Hearn took a shine to me. This was me rematch. It was a top 10 walk. It was the exact same position I was in, say, before this WBO European title, say, 2 years ago. So this was all built up. But I was in the dressing room, and I'm banging my hands together, like, thinking that I have to be this mad aggression, you know, built up. I can't even remember the walk to the ring. I was just in a different mindset. Now, the fight went well for the first round, but I was so built up that I dropped him heavily, say, and I went in to finish him. But I didn't even look at the corner, say. I was just so built up, like, it was just pure aggression going in. I didn't think.
Was it nearly fear of loss that you go, fuck, I have to get on this?
It's just it's just the instinct that you rush in. Like, 9 times out of 10, I would have finished him.
Yeah.
But this time when I rushed in, he just, like a Hail Mary punch from the ropes. He came up, hit me in the back of the head, and I never recovered, like.
Shit, right.
Yeah, he just caught me in the back of the head, and I never recovered. You know, so I lost that fight down to. But it was just the lead up to pure aggression, pure tension. and like I didn't recover. But you learn, don't you? Like I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
and I've done it, walked my way back up, got the same position, and then I went out to that ring, like enjoying it, and the lessons from the likes of Stephen Ormond.
Yeah,
the pressure thing. It's all little things, you know. Like,
oh, this is the 1% stuff, because even like that, like I mean, talking with, but I suppose anything that just kind of frees up, because you've one goal, beat the other fella. That's it, and just if you can just find the simplest way to doing that, it's engineering 101, isn't it? Just
it's
find
a science to it. Like,
find the simplest way of doing it.
Yeah, it's a science behind it. It is a huge mental thing, boxing.
Of course it is. You know? Because I mean, it's almost like chess in a lot of ways too. Like, you know, as you said, like Mayweather was never a heavy puncher, and that's just what people from the outside would go, well, you must be somebody who has an incredible fucking heavy hand. But he was so crafty.
Amazing. Yeah.
Just crafty fucker. Just stay out of the way for long enough, like, and then
not get hit, kind of.
Yeah.
There's something I'm working on more with my defence. In that fight, I didn't get hit that much. It was kind of movement and little adjustments, kind of, you know.
Well, until your man cracked you with a head.
Big mallet head on it.
Fucking.
Yeah. Big heavy head. He took serious shots as well, in fairness to him. Like, I was landing clean. I got my shoulder sore, so my big punch was like the right hand, the right hook. And when I tore the shoulder, I could only throw the right hand straight without pain. Like, it could come loose and it'd be a tearing and pain, like, the last couple of years. So I was just living with that. Now it's kind of coming good again. Yeah.
You know? And have you found yourself, like, I know, I mean, it's the training, I suppose, would be all down to Coach Taylor. What's his Steve? Peeves, sorry. But more and more fellas are getting into, like, I suppose, looseness side of things, like the likes of yoga and Pilates.
We do Bikram yoga.
Do you?
Well, I done it, say, for a month, and then it's so long, kind of. Look, I'm gonna start going back to it once a week, say, because it's an hour and a half long, then like a half an hour getting there and back. Like, it's a lot of time, isn't it?
Yeah, it eats into, I suppose, and you have a professional day.
Yeah, it's a lot of time, but I enjoy it. There's that. I done a physio session once a week. Not that I had injuries, it's just maintenance. So you're getting maintenance and stretched out and work on my shoulder. Like, you know, it's all little kind of tick the boxes. I'm working with a good nutritionist, Jim Trition.
Right.
Is his name. So he's doing the meals prepped exactly that I need, you know.
That's class.
Yeah, and it's all organic. It's beautiful stuff. Giving them an old plug there.
That's the job, yeah.
But it is amazing stuff. So they actually shared a picture before, say, the weigh-in for the Irish title and the weigh-in for this fight. So we made the weight wrong the last time. You know, if you're walking and you're going and getting a roll, or you get the odd salad. And
be caught,
whereas I had 3 meals a day off him, and then I'd have my breakfast. And it's just ready-made, good food. Like,
yeah.
The hassle off me. I'm going into work and getting the odd bar of chocolate.
And all those little things add up. Like,
it's a huge difference. You know?
Well, you look ripped and going into the fight there.
Huge difference. Little things like that.
Tell me this, because I mean, you've, like you said, you've been boxing since you were 8. Like, what? Three mad stories from fucking where you've ended up going, how the fuck did I end up? What are we doing here? Like,
I say it all the time about we do.
Yeah.
You just love it, don't you? It's interesting. You know, it's just something you love, like.
Yeah.
You know?
But like I said, there's a good resurgence of it. And there's an oddity of it too, because people just assume that, sure. Because, you know, when it comes to combat sports of any sort, people go, well, you know, it doesn't make sense unless the fella's, you know, got, like you said, has it all on the line. He's got the Rocky story. He's from, like, a broken home. And then you see a fella just cruising in who's just happened to be an engineer and go, yeah, no, I'm actually going to take this seriously now. And because that was the thing. Coincidentally, like, Richard Kiley was a manager for Allianz Insurance.
Was he? Yeah.
Like, what's his name? Will Fleury. Like, he's from an antiques dealer's family, like, you know. And you need it, like. It wouldn't, like, you would say, well, what? I said it to him. He goes, well, what the fuck does somebody need, Tom? Anybody can work anywhere. Anybody can do it. He says, it just so happens to be, he says, that a trend would be that people are from, you know, these, and heaven forbid that they'd come from another profession into do this kind of stuff, like, you know what I mean? But it seems to be that it doesn't make a blind bit of difference. Like, sure, it doesn't, like. No, it's just kind of in you, innit? I think it's definitely in you. Like, it's something that you love. Like, was anybody else in the family boxers? An uncle of mine boxed. Steve, he was a big influence. Stephen Keeler. He boxed for St. Saviour's in town at a high level amateur. So he brought me down. He used to bring me to Saviour's when I was younger. So I had that influence. I actually just found pictures yesterday in the front garden.
with my hands up, I was probably about 5 or 6.
Ready to go.
My dad, fighting with the brother.
Yeah.
My dad would have liked boxing and gave us gloves and we'd punch the head off each other in the house, like, you know, that kind of stuff. So Roy actually loved it. He went to, I was kind of waiting to go to the gym when I was 8. They'd have to take me in earlier. Do you know that kind of way?
Yeah, of course.
So I had love for it. And I was always kind of scrapping in school and I was small, but I was good at that as well.
Yeah.
You'd hit hard, start knocking people out there.
This kid might have something. Yeah. I'd say, your nickname was a given, like, with Cool Hand, like, but how, like, did you go through a few, does everybody...
I put something on, I actually put on social media, I liked it, you know, if you commented Cool Hand, you know.
Oh, you put it to the vote, like?
I kind of put it to a vote, 4 years ago, 4.5 years.
Is there pressure on you to come up with a nickname? Because almost everybody...
I didn't really think much into it now, to be honest.
Yeah, because I've like, obviously Spike is Spike.
Yeah, I didn't put a lot of thought.
Armand is The Rock.
Yeah, you know. It's just, it's like a brand as well, and it kind of...
But Cool Hand is a good name, alright.
Some people, like, I don't know. I didn't put a lot of thought into it.
Are you after getting a new dog?
I got a dog, a nice dog. Did you see him?
Yeah. I just had fascination with dogs as well. Yeah.
My dad's into dogs as well. It's like a lilac tricolour. It's a nice colour. Did you see that?
That's a class. Yeah. It's a class colour.
I was thinking of getting a good bitch and maybe breeding them. You know,
it's enough work on that. I think you have enough on your hands at the minute.
That's the problem. Like, I've all little things going on, and you have to focus fully. I have a big interest in property as well. Like, but you need to take a step back at one stage. I was actually going to open my own company. I had the business name registered at the commissioning.
Right.
I was at a stage there where I was like, there was a couple of mechanical companies that were going to promise me work, and I said, look, if I get sucked into this, you know, you're earning money and you get sucked into that, the boxing's not going to...
No, but you're going to... When you're working...
one or the other, isn't it? Like,
when you're working for yourself, you're putting in 70-hour weeks.
Amazing, yeah.
70 hours.
You have to, but don't you?
Yeah, you have to. You have to. There's no... Like, I mean, even as this... Yeah, I know we're chilling here, like, but because I have about 5 irons in the fire with different things, it's not just stand-up. Yeah. I'm acting now, and I'm acting, teaching as well, like, you know what I mean? So you just... But it's 70 hours a week, like. I would not have time to commit to sport now at all, like. Even to just dicking about. I couldn't, like. Because I'd be sicking too if you can't go 100%. Like, at least I'd give it a decent fucking lash. Like,
yeah, that's why I'll wait. And the boxing kind of
you've got
gives you discipline.
Yeah.
Gives you discipline, like, of a lot of time now. Say a couple of little things going, but yeah, it'd be interesting now when I give up boxing, like, all that energy and kind of focus into something, like, it works, doesn't it? Like, you know, it doesn't matter what you put your mind to.
Any of the professional lads, because I do a lot of these hosts and things for Heineken for the rugby, you know what I mean? And you meet all lads who are ex-rugby players, like, and a lot of them, like, they would only just gone into the professional year, but they would have carried themselves like a professional throughout the whole thing. Every one of them has been successful. Yeah, and you're going, and not just half arson successful, like fucking really successful. And it's okay, a bit of it is probably opportunities come your way when you're part of a team.
Actually, people give you a bit of respect as well with it. Like, I'm on building sites, and they say the owners and mechanical, they give you a bit of time and respect when they see the boxing. They kind of opens doors as well.
Of course it does, yeah.
So you've that side of it, but the commitment that you're putting in and putting the body through and the mindset, like, if you apply that to business and go full haul, you're a winner, and you're like...
Well, it's almost like how you were saying, like how Pete runs the bollocks off you. Like, if you were to do it at home, you'd never go full bore. No. But when you're with him and you're running against 2 other fellas, but out the other end of that too, if you'd never done boxing, you wouldn't know to have that discipline. Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing.
You'd never push the body too.
No, you wouldn't, like. But at least you know where you fucking black out. Yeah. To run to the point that you black out. How many people can say they did that?
Yeah, don't stop till you drop.
Yeah. Because I did there in March. I did a triathlon. But this was a mental fucking thing. I don't know how I ended up doing it, but I did it was a 40k mountain cycle, an 8k mountain run, and then kayak for 2k back to the town, like. And the sister's a fitness freak, like, but she's one of these people, like, there is no limits. Like, she's a doctor of neural something or other down in Cork, but, like, why would you be sleeping all the time? Get the right amount of sleep when you need to do it. But then she looks 24 and she's 40. Do you know what I mean? Like, just one of these help, but it was nothing to her. She goes, of course, sign up to it. You'll be fine. You train away a bit. I says, I don't know about this, but the next thing, my 65-year-old out lad, He signed up.
Deadly.
Because he just did the Dublin Marathon. Because,
Deadly,
sounds good to me. So it's only like not being able to do a thing is only a frame of mind. If you're looking at your 65-year-old old lad going, and he's fucking trotting on up over this mountain.
I just, when we were talking about the old coach, 87, like, it's just, once you keep going, kind of.
500 sit-ups a fucking day, like.
Yeah, he says that.
I can guarantee you 99.9% of my listeners, including me, could
He
not do
it. And show me the crunches, like, he's like, I do them this way, so you can't go up all the way, but he's just like that, show me the crunches.
Here still.
Yeah.
Even if he's getting off the ground.
Yeah, he's crunching, like, they're proper, like, 5. It's amazing, isn't it?
He must have some serious...
Wouldn't it? When you talk time, I remember seeing something interesting, like, about time frame and life, like, people, they kind of walk from 20 to 60, don't they, like...
Yeah.
And then, like, what did he have after that with the time, kind of way?
Yeah.
Like, there's a huge amount of time there, isn't there, kind of...
Like, the old man, like, we were asking about, is he retiring? He goes, no. The fuck am I going to do?
You'd rust then,
He's still rust. Like, he's changed his work profile all right now. He works for a beef company, like, but he's changed his work profile that he just doesn't have to fucking do the same lifting and shit that he was doing and the same slog like that he was doing. But he goes, what the fuck am I going to do?
Yeah.
He says, no. He says,
you need a structure, don't you?
He says, you need it. Like, he says, look, I'm still as fit as I was when I was in my 40s. He says, so what am I stopping for? Like, But you're right, like, society tells you, this is you, stop then. And then you go out to fucking pasture. Like, you don't have to do anything.
Do your 9 to 5. Pay the bills.
The only thing is doing that 95 is work. When you see when you see those lads, you go, they're hoping for that. Some of those lads, like, you know what I mean. You're just going, no, it's all right. There's like
there's people passionate about the work.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I worked for a brief period. I worked in the office environment, like, because I was always on site. Like, but I worked for a brief period for an insurance loss adjusting firm as their engineer. But to say that I hated the environment, like on every level, I fucking hate. I swear to God, I would have gone picking rubbish on the side of the road before I go do it again.
Yeah.
It was like you're just in amongst people, and you're going, and like I have a site mentality that if you need to get to the bottom of something, or if you're taking a bollocking, give it to me. We'll have our bollocking here. Okay, I understand. We'll fucking change it. Yeah. I was getting emails from the boss who was 5 feet away in his office, giving me a roasting. And that was the day I knew I was done.
Flipping desk stuff.
Like, I stand there going, what the fuck is this about? And the whole office is looking at me like meerkats going, Jesus Christ, did he just curse it?
Some fear, isn't there, involved in that?
And I couldn't, I've gone nose to nose 1,000 times with blokes on sites, like, because I thought I was in the right. And turns out I probably wasn't. But at least you're able to have
honesty, isn't it? Like,
but this fucker, and this next email came in, and it was written in red, and he had his door locked. He had his door locked. I'm going, you fucking
screen should have leaned with
absolute fucking prick, like. Yeah. So that was when I knew I was done, and I gave up everything, went full throttle at comedy because I just couldn't. I couldn't deal with that moment, like.
That was the defining moment.
That was it. That was it. I went out into the car and just went, ain't seeing me again. I can't because I'll end up.
At least you had the awareness of that,
Yeah, exactly.
Some people have the fear. They'd have the awareness, but they're just settled, aren't they?
Yeah, of course they are. Like, said, that's you ringing, is it? Are you? That's probably your coach. How are you? How are you getting on?
I'm coming.
That was actually, you know what? So I stopped the recording, but this mad old foreign bastard just came up and he just said, "Is this the international? This is tougher to get by 10 times than actually fucking walking straight into the bar, like."
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, I mean, it's always the fucking foreigners to just wander into a place. Like, I couldn't work in the city. Like.
No.
Because you have to have a certain kind of mindset where you just go, I have to ignore all these. I watch people too much.
Yeah.
And I'm
into that now, people watching.
Honest God, I tried to get into his head just there for a split second to go, what made you fucking think that this was
that was quick now. You're on a different level of people watching than me.
Yeah, this is what I... Yeah. This is... I'm going for the world title fight that people are watching. Yeah. But I'm just watching and going like... But in fairness to you went, yeah, get out.
Get out of here, yeah.
But he... Like, what made him think, this is definitely the way love comes up with the wife, and this is definitely the way we're supposed to... 2 locked fucking doors he'd come through into a darkened room. And right beside where he walked through, there's a pub, music going, the whole lot. What the fuck was your thought process there? Like, yeah. But it's an addiction of mine. Like, and I probably watch people. But what I've noticed is
you'll get material, I suppose.
It is, and it gives me a great insight for the acting side of things. Where now I'm acting, coaching, and directing. Like I was in Cork last night for this. We have these events that we run where we film. It's actually right in Spike's neck of the woods last night. But it was an events company will take on a club and go, yeah, that I work for, and basically what they'll do is go, look, for this X amount of money, we'll film 7 films, short versions of them, films that are known, probably Oscar winners, and we'll cast the right people in the right yokes, we'll film it professionally, and we'll show it on the night. You sell tickets. Like, to give you an example, we did it down in Killarney for 2 clubs, GA clubs came together, and probably about 80 people put in 7 films, and they cleared 120,000 by the end of it, between sponsorship, the whole lot, and selling tickets on the night, everything else.
They're just getting in all community of local people, is
exactly, yeah. But you'll find
nuggets. They all have to sell tickets, I suppose.
They all have to flog tickets. But and also you see they're getting sponsorship on board, but then like you'll have sponsors, but then they're doing the smart thing, like they're getting people like, say, Aidan O'Mahony, who football player, fucking fitness fanatic. Like I had him on the podcast as well.
Can sell the tickets.
He just puts his name to it, but he's a very good fella for the community too. Like, you know what I mean. He
has to support it.
He has people, and people would live and die by that guy. Like, and you'd take 1 5-minute conversation with him, and you go, I get why people. Yeah. Because you are you are as straight as an arrow. There is no fucking around. There's no fluff in his life whatsoever. Like he is straight as an arrow. But he was an interesting take on a fella on how. Like, he loved training more than actually games. He didn't mind the games. They were a good thing to do, but he actually loved training. He fucking loved it, especially pushing himself against other fellas who he knew. Like, he says, like, I beat one fella if I beat a fella on the pitch, realistically. But he says, I'm beating a ton of fellas and I'm training.
Just competing against them.
Yeah.
That's the mindset I had when I joined Pete Taylor's. Like, I need to train as good as these guys. They're elite high performance guys in the amateurs. Then training, like I need to be at these level, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or beyond even.
Or beyond. I need to be pushed past that kind of.
Yeah.
You, when you have that environment, then you're fighting against each other. It's good, isn't it?
It's good for every environment too. Like I see it there. Like there'll be times in the comedy world. It's always good if there's a bunch of fucking killers on the lineup, like. Because you all end up fucking going like animals at it, like, you know what I mean? And it's something I could never understand when people have. I talked to Neil Delamere about this, and Delamere has me open for him a fair bit. He goes, go as hard as he can. Because I've had a few in the past who'll be big names, go, here, take it back a notch there, Tom. The last night you were fucking.
Serious?
Yeah. When it's them they fucking come to see, not me, like. Yeah. And it's only and they'll select.
They don't want you outdoing them, kind of like.
Yeah, but I should never be able to outdo them because they bought a ticket to see you, not me. I'm only the warm up dude.
Just a performer.
But Delamere's like, he was of the attitude going, it's my business, it's my job to go bigger than you when I see how you do. Yeah. He says, it's my job, and he says that's good. He says that's good for me, like. Yeah. He says you always want the best around you because it brings the best out of you. Yeah. And it's the same in sports, I suppose, too, like.
It's very similar, isn't it? Like the comedy world or boxing.
Yeah.
Like, isn't it? Like it's kind of it's the arts world in boxing. It's similar, isn't it? Like you're committing, isn't it? Kind of like it's not the normal 9 to 5.
No, it's not. It's not like. And you're. I mean, essentially, we're all just out there to entertain people. That's the crux of it. I mean, you can take it very seriously and go, well, it's for me, but it'd be no good if there was nobody showing up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
that entertainment value in boxing is what kind of can catapult you as well. Like.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what we're saying. Like, I mean that, like you could have somebody who just happens to have a huge following. Like you look at like Chris Eubank Jr. Like, what a great name. Yeah. I mean, you already just walked into huge name. Like your father's.
I'll give you an example of that. Like there's an unreal fighter, say Regan Dow. Like that Cuban guy, and untouchable, but no following, doesn't sell tickets, so he's not getting to pay this. Yeah. Whereas you have, say that trilogy or Toro Gatti and Ward, like they were say mid-level guys. They put on an amazing fight. They probably got 20 grand each for the first fight. Then all of a sudden, the return fight, then they're commanding $1 million. Yeah, and then the last one, then $1 million. Do you get me? Because of that entertainment factor.
But yeah, that's a smart storytelling promoter too. Though. Yeah, you know, if you can tell a story of the trilogy, like and all this shit, like you know what I mean.
Whereas Regan Dow, he's such a purist, no entertainment. He's just hit, not get hit. It is an entertainment business, like
it is. That's bottom line. Bottom line. You can be guaranteed McGregor. There's somebody like there's probably a handful of lads who could beat him, but he has lads bet before he gets in the ring because he puts he puts on such a fucking show.
Yeah, he's an amazing mindset.
Unbelievable,
you know, isn't he? Like I used to love listening to him. Like that visualization and imagine and all this. Like it's a powerful one. Like
it takes a level of, and I've spoken about this before. Sometimes. Not to be flippant about using it, but it takes a level of being on a spectrum of almost, I suppose. I mean, we're all on a spectrum of some sort when it comes to autism, that you could shut down a brain, and some people think stuff like. But if you can get to a level where you're just going, yeah, I can function normally in society, but fuck the world when it comes to this, because you need the blinkers, like. Do you know? And there talks of fellas there like you'd see some, like, again, talking with other, mostly rugby players who I run into, like, and stuff, but the unbelievable lads are the lads who can shut it all out. Yeah. Shut it all out, like, it'd be freak shows. You know what I mean? And just
clarity of mind.
Just clarity of mind and just go, like, there was a great tattoo I remember seeing on a bloke that I know, and it's because he's a funny fucker. It didn't really make, like, the same fella's a stoner and everything. So, but you could almost apply it to, like, he lived in Texas for years, and it's the Texan state thing, but written underneath is, don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah.
And it actually stuck in my head. It was like, yeah, fuck the small stuff, the inconsequential things.
It's powerful, yeah. It's something that I'm doing now as well. I'm kind of putting out my path now, say, to the world title and focus on that. And as you said, that kind of clarity, like.
Yeah.
So the next step, say, is August, world ranking, another world rank guy, and then December, and then I'm looking at, say, another world rank guy in December, and then a world title fight. Do you have Madison Square Garden booked for Paddy's weekend? The next, say, 2 or 3 Paddy's weekends for Mick Conlon. So I'm that's what I'm looking at now.
Yeah.
A world title fight on Paddy's weekend in Madison Square Garden. You know, that kind of way.
Yeah.
And that's my focus.
Yeah.
You know, and it is an unbelievable amount of sacrifice as well involved in that. And they're like, but
I suppose there is, but at the same time, like, I mean, it's
if you can enjoy the process,
you're not doing it for anybody else. Like, you know what I mean?
Enjoying the process, but that's the way. That's my level of thinking now. Is I actually put up a post. I went to New York December. I went to see Mick Conlon over there. And
is that when he walked in? McGregor walked to the ring.
No, it was the one after.
Oh yes,
yeah. Lomachenko. We went to the fights and I got tickets out of the fight from the management company, and it was an amazing experience. But I was just outside Madison Square Garden, and I put up a post, and I was kind of, you'd be nearly embarrassed to talk about winning a world title, you know, that kind of way, like nearly putting it out there. But I put up a post saying 2019 Madison Square Garden world title fight, you know, just something like that.
Yeah.
You know, just sending it out there, kind of. But it's amazing that you're only like 2 fights away from that. Yeah, and the structure's in place to get there, and the management team is there to provide that.
Oh, why not? Why not put it out there?
Why not? Yeah,
it's like writing your, like, do you have a goals notebook now as well?
Yeah, that's it. I put stuff out there. I actually just bought a vision board. You know, it was meaning to do one of them for a good while as well. You know,
you have to. I do it every single. I like, this is the thing. Like, people be sneering at it, going, "Oh, fucking." But when I'm telling you now. One of the first interviews I did on the podcast was with a guy called Brendan Cummins. He was Tipperary goalkeeper for like 16 years, Puck Fada champion for 16, like every year. Just, and like, the guy cannot do enough for the community, like for any place. Like, and everything's at 200 miles an hour still. But it was incredible. His book had just come out, and essentially what the podcast interview was a 1 hour synopsis of his book. It was amazing. You couldn't, like I would ask him 2 questions and he'd give me 20 minutes to talk, and but he's still to this day, still after hurling, because he was at a professional level. Like, anybody playing football, like GA, they're not getting paid, but they're at a professional fucking level. Like, but every one of them fellas has a goals board, whether it's just it's like want to hit like personal best, want to certain things and all the rest of it, but must hit a certain point, and the season must. And he would go to the book at the end of the week and go, have I hit that?
Yeah, flick back. Doherty, I have a large Doherty, he'd be writing stuff in and taking training sessions down. But another thing I done as well recently was I printed off your man Conrad Cummins, put up a photograph of the European belt, say 4 or 5 weeks before the fight.
She's mine.
I had a picture.
Because it was the vacant belt, wasn't it?
He won it, but because he didn't defend it so long, it was made vacant. but he had the belt. But I printed off the picture and I put it on the visor in the car.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Like,
Every time you pull it down, yeah,
little things like that. And I actually I printed off a different photograph. It was him cut out, like it was cropped, but it was the 4 belts. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So that's put up there now. You know.
Yeah.
It's
that shit sinks in there subliminally too, though. It does, because all of a sudden you're ticking it off halfway through. Fuck, I did that. Yeah. That stuff does work, like.
Yeah.
Like interesting, isn't it? She was a Reiki specialist, but like I wasn't going in for any of the fucking healing any of that shit. Like, and it was the old man. It was kind of when I was getting going at this, and I jacked in the job and all the rest of it. The old man was like, "Listen," because he'd be very forward thinking when it comes to that kind of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's very. And this is, I mean, a fella from the middle of the sticks.
My parents would have been kind of reserved and taking chances, you know, that kind of way.
Oh, like it's only now, but I think he's doing it vicariously through me more than anything. Like, you know, I think it's chances anyway. But like, as far job wise, no, security job wise and all that. I thought I was a fucking madman for doing what I was doing. But he said, look, if you're going to do it, I'm not going to, because he'd never be the sort of fella to give you a roasting. Like, but he said, if you're going to do it, go at it fucking full throttle. Like, you got it, you fucking got it. So he lined up this woman, and she was unbelievable. Like, she was like a farmer's wife, like did a big fucking farm, and it was like, what am I turning up? This is the middle of the countryside. Turns out this woman had a clinic to the side, full-time Reiki. And she look, and before I even sat down, she went, I know you're not here for any kind of healing or any of that shit, so what's the crack? I said, I need focus. I said, I need to know how to get from point A to point B. Yeah. And she goes, right, let's talk it out. An hour and a half later,
clarity.
Unbelievable. And she gave me a couple of pointers of things, and she had like, she goes, what do you need to do to get ahead? I said, you physically need to be more known. Well, how do you get more known? I said, you need to be on national
steps, was it?
Yeah. She goes, you need to be on national television. Right, well, how are you going to do that? She goes, I know you know how to do this. So quite literally, I had the symbol, the RTE symbol on one of the vision boards. When in 8 months I was in Damon Ivor. And I wasn't by action. Like, there's another 50 steps for me to get to that point. But I made it my goal. That's where I was fucking getting to. And it's funny because it sounds like magic, but it ain't magic. Like, once you trim off the
focus
fat,
on it. Yeah, once you believe in it, people don't set their sights that high, do they? Like, they set their 9
Well, they think stuff is just going to show up. Yeah. And for people that because that's all you see, really. Like that. You only see people at the end game. You go, well, that must have just shown up at their doorstep. Yeah. Did it?
Overnight success.
Did it? You could be guaranteed.
Overnight success.
Like, do you know what I mean? The amount of people that I'll be in here headlining, like at the weekend, and people will come up afterwards who just have no clue, God bless them, like, and they'll go, geez, you're right to keep up that comedy stuff. You're like, man, do you know what it takes to get to headliner standard in the oldest comedy club in the country? Like, are you fucking joking me? Like I just strolled in and asked for a 20-minute spot, like, you know. Like it's, I appreciate the sentiment, but they have no clue. Like, they just think it turned up like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
But the flip side of that is the other people say that just, you don't aim that, like, you're aiming that high, whatever, but the ones that just aim for the 9 to 5, the job.
But for some people, it's too scary to go.
Oblivious, and you, like, kind of.
Yeah, but do you know what?
They're happy at that.
That's the other side of it too. Like I remember talking with the brother years ago, and we were talking about a fella that he was working with, like, and he went on fucking holiday. He lived in a house that was 2 doors down from his mother's place. They went on holiday with every year to the same place with the exact same people, the exact same, all fucking relatives, and they were all living in the 1 row of houses. It was down in Cork, and I would go out of my fucking tree, but as he said, he goes, your man drinks in the same pub 3 nights a week, drinks the same amount of pints, smokes the same fags,
it's happy,
and is fucking loves life.
Yeah,
absolutely gets up every morning, woohoo! Like, it's he's living the dream. Yeah. And you go, well, that's perfect. That's his dream.
You appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like, the ones that are miserable, that don't.
No, exactly.
They're the ones that have it against. Do you know what I mean? But you appreciate guys that are selling. There's friends of mine that are really happy and like, whatever you do with coaching, probably in a football, you don't mind that. If you're enjoying that, but it's the ones that are miserable that you, like, you know, they need to do the changes. Don't you?
See, society is kind of teeing up against people in a lot of ways, because I talk to people a lot, like, an awful lot. You get people, for some reason, in certain environments, seem to tell me their entire fucking life story and their deepest secrets. Like, I don't know what it is, but you find out, you're going, like, the amount of people I meet that are engineers, and it freaks them out that I'm doing what I'm doing, to go, but how could you give up engineering? how could you do that? And I was like, hold on. Hold on. They go, but you tell jokes now for a living. This is, like, look, man, this is my world. Don't you worry. But you could see by some of them, they're kind of going, fuck me. I have to have a row every fucking day on site. Like, you know what I mean? And you go, yes, but you can do whatever. You only got max, you got 100 years. That's max, you got 100 years. If you're lucky. Jesus, like, I got my grandfather's 97. Right? You know what I mean? And he's still flying it. But, so I can't see myself lasting that long. So I said, look, let's say you have a 40-year, 50-year gap of good stuff. The fuck are you doing? Shake it up. But I do think, like, when you're in school and stuff like that, like, I know there's a lot more progressive countries and stuff because they do have kind of systems going, look, don't be stressing. Like, some pressure to be put on a young fella fucking 17 or 18 to go, you have to pick now what you're going to be for the rest of your life.
I picked that structural engineering and no huge interest in that. And I stuck her out. No huge interest. And I'll drive by that Bowden Street and I've no fond memories of that. It's some grey building, isn't it? Like,
Jesus,
just stuck her out. Like, it wasn't enjoyable.
No, there's no major pleasure.
You got a degree kind of attitude. Now, you got some off the back of, I suppose, and you stuck her out. But Jesus, there's no joy in it. What's that like? Unless you love something, I suppose. Here's the thing: there was pleasurable days, and there's no doubt. Pleasurable days where it's like where you nail a thing, like, and it gets done, and the job gets done. You're like, fucking lovely little achievement there, like, but. I don't know what kind of shook me up. There was nobody, like, but there could nearly be a class in school would be nearly as well to go look at. Because you pick what you pick, don't be fucking stressing about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, my brother-in-law had the right idea. He spent about 8 years in college, jumping around until he found the course. He went, fuck, I like this. He don't stress about it.
And his parents were stressing at home, but then he never felt a bit of it. He was like, you're grand. We
had that awareness.
But that's the way the Americans do it. Year one is just fucking about trying a bunch of different things. Like I was talking.
That's a better system, isn't it?
It's much better because then look, sure, what's the rush? You know what I mean?
How do you know? I was only 17 from before.
Yeah, same as that.
How do you know?
Just going into college at 17, and I'm doing what the fuck, like. Are you some lads whose outlads and grandfathers are engineers and stuff? You go, all right, well that was predestined. But I was borderline not going to college at all and just being a welder. Because I really liked welding. Do you know, so it wasn't that I had a deep passion for the thing. Like, but, like, a cousin of mine, he's American. He went on to become a doctor. Like, but his first year fluting about, he did a course in Florida University of Irish Mythology. This is one class on a Tuesday, like, going, I could do this. Just give it an old rattle, see what it's like. It's a great way to go. Like, I don't know what the big pressure is to be hunting lads.
It's the wrong system, isn't it? Like the educational system. Like,
well, definitely when you get to that environment, because let them flute about for a year, it'll be grand.
It needs to be changed. It's outdated, isn't it? Like, it needs to be.
It definitely does, because I don't know what the big deal is to let him in for a year, have him try a couple of different courses and stuff. Because at least then what it does down the line. Say you get your degree and all the rest of it, but it kind of gives you a thing in your head going, there was that Irish mythology class. Do you know what? Fuck being an engineer. I'm going to be a history teacher. You know, like...
something that you're passionate about. Finding something as well. It's very hard. We're very lucky to find something that you're passionate about.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Like, you talk what you're passionate about. You'd ask people that question and not many people can tell you, can they? Like,
unbelievable. Like,
it's some luck involved, isn't it?
Like, there's a mate of mine, his podcast, a very, very successful podcast. He built my website and everything. It's called The Conspiracy Guys. It's a good way of passing a good drive, like, because he's a really funny fucker as well. But, like, he will put in, these are 5-hour podcasts, like, of, say, he'll do a conspiracy on, say, fucking Roswell, or he'll do one on maybe 9/11, and he's done everything you can think of, like, but they're very interesting. He goes and makes them funny, but like he said to himself, he goes, there's times he says, I'm doing so much research. He goes, I love it so much, I'm doing so much research. I nearly have to have a timer to go off, you have to go to the toilet. Do you know what I mean? He's just absorbed in it. Oh, dug in, like. You wouldn't believe the level of love he has for what he's doing right now, like.
But who would, like, how many people are actually getting paid for doing something that they enjoy? Like,
very few, I suppose.
20%,
very few.
I'm driving down to do my training, like, feeling good from it, eating good food. Like, it's you're very lucky, isn't it? Like,
it's unbelievable.
And getting paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You feel like you're stealing money, like, like, people, I paid to stand there on that stage and tell fucking jokes.
You know,
like, there's times when you're going, Yeah, you can go, yeah, I'm worth it, all right. But you're going, wait, let's have a look at what I'm doing here now, like, you know what I mean? But it is, like, yeah, I mean, it is a case of finding, if you can even find a little sliver of it, like, that's what I say to people, like, just find a little sliver, even if you fucking hate your 9 to 5, find something, if you can, anything at all, that you're kind of happy.
Yeah, enjoy.
Yeah, you'll
switch off.
You'll be, I tell you one thing, your family will like you better, everything.
Yeah. Because
there's nothing worse than coming in after a fucking hateful day, planking down watching some dirt on the telly. No, unless I'm on the telly, I'm just saying that. But you know what I mean? And just
the employer RTE program.
Yeah. and just but just, you know what I mean? Like, just, like, I wouldn't watch fucking telly hardly from one end of the week to the other.
No, never.
I'll flick on, like, but, like, there'd be too much to be doing.
Some people are just getting into that rut, aren't
That's a rut. That's exactly a rut. A fucking rut.
And they're grey in the face over, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's just you're dying in front of
I read something interesting. The Alchemist was called. It says sometimes we're talking like this, but sometimes people are oblivious to that, and when you show them or you speak to them, and that it's actually possible to do it, like they can do it themselves.
Yeah,
it nearly annoys them more than it actually opens their eyes, because they know they won't go and do it, but it frustrates them that much that you're actually opening. See these guys oblivious in the pub and all that happy. So you're saying you can do this A, B and C, but you're actually doing detrimental to them by telling them that, you know, because they're not going to get up off the hole and do it.
And that's it.
They're happy in their belief, like happy not.
I totally understand that, because I know exactly. I quote experiences of that where you go, no, listen, you can't. You go, you know, and they get ratty at it, because you're, in a way, they feel like they're being called out for being a lazy gunfly. Yeah. That's what, and it's much easier to get angry at somebody saying it to you than actually self-criticize it.
I'd say conversations with guys, like, just say, for instance, they're going for a mortgage, say, and you say, look, well, maybe you could do like a Friday, Saturday in a bar and do this. Don't like the list. You're talking about steps, like this is the steps to get it, you know, and you know, you're actually annoying them. Yeah, you're annoying them by opening their eyes to what they can do and these steps in place to get ahead. But it's kind of, and then like you can't drag anyone either. She can't
no. But and you know what? If they're not willing to jump on board, that sure you haven't time to be.
But just talking about.
But it is funny. Like that's the thing. Like you have to be very, especially like in the raw version of sport. Like you find out very quickly if you haven't done the right job because you're on your hole. Do you know what I mean? You're on your hole. Or I die me volleys here, and you have 100 people in this room looking at you going right, and there's crickets going, and you've still got another 25 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Or quite literally, it's a similar thing. So you have to be very.
You're getting away with it, I suppose. Doing very little.
You can't. And that's the thing. I think being self-critical is one of the most important things. You have to be able to go, I was a fucking idiot for that. That needs to change for the next day. Like, do you know? Because I can't continue like this. But you see, if you're able to meander through, if say you have a fucking cushy old government number there, like, and all of a sudden nobody's ever pulling you up on stuff. It never really matters the outcome of what you're doing. Like. Then how can you ever be self-critical like? Yeah.
I could have got away with that in my old job.
Tipping away,
like you need other stuff going on the outside, but I could never be happy with 9 to 5.
Ah, Jesus, no.
With that wage, like, and depending on that wage. But how can they like that? I always question that. Like, how can you just do a 9 to 5? They get into a rut, like they get a mortgage, and they're tied into that mortgage, so they're fearing for a job. Yeah, they're going in. They're doing that 9 to 5 with the overhang of the mortgage in a shit house somewhere. Yeah. You know, and he just settled only.
But this is the
60, he settled. Like.
But this is what I was telling you about your man that loved going on holidays with the neighbours.
Yeah.
His cousins, essentially, like. If that's what your gig is, like, and you love people, like, most people do love regularity. They fucking love, they're terrified if something comes blindsides them, like. Do you know what I mean? But really what it does, it keeps you sharp on your toes, I think, like.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Must be asleep. I don't know.
But that's what it is. Well, really, like you look at some of it, like you said yourself, you're buzzing because you're eating the cleanest food you can eat. Yeah. That's a lot of it too, like.
Huge amount. I'm eating crap the last while. I feel like shit.
Yeah, you do, like, but you be feeling down and everything and angry and stuff. Like.
You're talking about conspiracy. It must be a conspiracy system there.
You think it isn't?
Podcast and that.
Look at America.
Yeah.
Look what they've done. They've slowed down the whole population so they can keep them good and stupid, working away.
9 to 5. There is a system in that.
You know, but then there is a bit of a revolution now in America where they're starting to see that, like, where they're going, here, I'm not eating that shit, like, I want grass-fed beef instead of this shit coming out of it.
That's coming around, isn't it?
Well, that's why I do a lot of hunting.
Yeah.
So it's because I like that. I'm coming up on the last bit of venison now again. Like so.
Pretty nice.
So, but it's like during the winter, mostly all the red meat that's in our house is all shot.
Deadly.
I mean, even a lot of the let's say white people would say foul meat, like whether it's ducks or pheasants.
And you can taste the difference in that.
Man, it's not even meat relative to what we know meat to be.
Yeah.
It's not even fucking meat. Like, the chicken breast like you pick up and the thing is just a floppy piece of rubber.
Water, yeah.
Even if it is an organic.
They say organic, don't you?
They say organic. I mean, they say free range too. That can be a broad stroke. Like, they just need to see sunlight for an hour a day.
That's free range.
That's all. That's free range. Like, now that's not saying that that's what the farms do, but that's technically down in writing what it is.
Right.
But if you shoot a pheasant, man, you have to, like, I'm not saying it's tough, but you're eating. Yeah. It's closer to beef than it is.
Yeah, it's solid. Yeah.
There's a bit of bite to it, like, you know what I mean. Same with duck. Like, there's a bite to it. You're fucking eating something, like. So but I find too, if you're eating things like venison, like, it's not like eating, say, even a grass-fed steak here. You nearly need a bit of a fucking lie down after it. Yeah. Not with venison.
No.
You'd go through a wall. Go through a wall because it's full of and this is any nutritionist will be able to tell you, this is no mythology. Like, if it's the amount of vitamins and minerals it's full of.
Because it's just they're so, like, the way they're living, I suppose.
If you look at it, cow meanders around the field, barely nibbling grass like all day long, like fat cows.
Yeah, I must take that up then. I must start buying venison.
Start looking. I'm telling you, and all the venison here is beautiful because it's all wild. Yeah. All the venison here, you go to the UK and a lot of other countries, and it's farmed. It's farmed, but they're kind of wild to a certain degree. What they have is, like, they might have 1,000 acres of high fence, and they're nibbling their own thing, but they're being fed. Like, to put a bit of weight on them too, they're being fed stuff. But like here. And we're so tight on so many laws, but you can, if I went out in the morning, obviously it's out of season, but no, if I went out, say, come September, and I only wanted one deer, but I saw 3 that I had to take, I just fucking had to take them because they were good. I'd take the 3 of them, because they are a plague on the countryside at the minute, because not enough people are hunting, and there's too many of them. So you've got to keep the breeding, because you can't have them interbreeding, and you can't have them wandering out into fucking roads as well, so there is a certain cull that has to happen. But you can sell the other 2 to the game fairs.
Can you?
Yeah.
And is there a certain season for that, or what way?
Oh yeah, September through to February.
Yeah,
and then it depends on the county too. Like, so, say Wicklow would have a wide open one, so it'd be very much from the 1st of September. I could be wrong on that now, but I would normally.
They're allowed to shoot in Wicklow. I was up in that
certain parts of Wicklow.
What's it? The Hellfire Club.
Oh yeah.
I've done a walk up there, and they're all over there, and they like.
You see. That's the thing. A big cull has to happen there. Like, whereas I don't go out in the cull because it's a bit. It's like, because it's just lads just going out, just talking fucking loudly and just shooting from. It's the same thing as hunt. But I do it for kind of 2 reasons. One, I like the fact that I mightn't get in. In a way, like, you know what I mean. It's a bit more. You got to stalk the bastard, like, and actually hunt it.
There's skill involved. Like,
there is a skill involved, like, where you're going, you're going to places where they wouldn't be as plentiful, like, but there'd be, there'd be a few, but you gotta, because deer are crafty motherfuckers, like, they can hear 1,000 times better than us, smell us from fucking a mile away, like, and their eyesight is pretty tasty as well, and they can move like rockets. So, but that's a kind of a rule of thumb. I think it might have been Joe Rogan, I had heard it, but he had a good rule of thumb. If the animal moves quick, chances are it's good for you to move quick afterwards yourself. Do you know, if it's quick twitch animal, like, and you won't find much more quick twitch than a fucking deer.
That's interesting. I'll introduce that into the diet now for the next one.
Zero fat. I think rabbit actually has the highest concentration of protein than any meat. I could be wrong, but I think, and then sure, a rabbit is.
Friend used to catch heaps of them.
Get on it. Get on it.
You can handy stews. We used to get them in stews.
Do whatever. There's a ton of different things. Look what the Italians do with rabbits. Like, rabbit has fallen out of our diet here because years ago, but like back in the early 80s, there was an outbreak of myxomatosis, and you couldn't touch them. But that's all gone now.
Is he?
Yeah, it's all gone. So it's completely now. It's starting to come back into the old trendy restaurants now. But they're, because in Ireland, when it comes to rabbits, they have to be farm raised, and nobody's farming rabbits here. I was in a butcher's and it was like rabbits for 12 quid. I'm going, what the fuck? It's only a 2-2 bullet, which costs about fucking 25 cents. Yeah. And your man was laughing. You're going, I know, they're Italian. I said, fucking what? The rabbits would nearly walk up to you here in Ireland. He goes, I know, but you've got to farm them here.
You're not allowed to shoot them and sell them.
No, and not sell them. You can eat as many of them as you want. I was gobbling them over Christmas, right? Fucking all the way up until probably February. I ate the last of the rabbits, like. But I must have had 30 rabbits in the freezer.
Good meat.
Not bad. Like, the meat is great. Yeah. It's just not an awful lot of it.
Yeah.
Like,
that is unbelievably tasty, but good for me. Like,
to be fair, they're not bad. They're very... You got to get used to the gameness of it. It's a different flavour.
Different than chicken, and kind of similar enough to chicken.
If you stew it, you'll be hunky dory. Yeah. You wouldn't be roasting it. You wouldn't be roasting a rabbit.
Yeah.
Because they just dry out. Because they have to pick a fat now.
Yeah.
No fucking fat, like.
Yeah.
But then high. But you go through a wall after eating them.
This is a tangent now.
I know. This is what I love. This is good shit.
You're happy with this content, eh?
Yeah. Come here. Actually, it's the listeners might be sick of me talking about fucking hunting. Like. Any opportunity. I waited a full hour.
You were in, before you.
A full hour to get in. But over the watch.
And you're putting it back to diet for me. Like
there you go. You see, I can make it.
Relevant.
We go hunting over in after your fighting. We go out in September. We go shooting. Like,
it'll be interesting that now. I'll take you up on that.
Yeah, because it just tipped down to Wicklow, like.
Deadly, yeah.
Because I'm happy.
I was working in Texas for 3 months, and we went out to your man had one of those stands that you go up and so we got up early in the morning, like in a big ranch that he had.
Yeah.
And but you couldn't shoot whether it was a male or female. I don't know what it was. Like,
he probably only had a tag for a male, like, or something like that.
So
yeah.
one was right in front of me, waiting an hour, and I was like, Jesus, can I not just kill it? Like, you know, he wouldn't let me. The guy. They're strict, aren't they?
They have amazing hunting though in America.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking amazing. But there's such a good structure. But like that, it'll be the conservative. But the conservationists will be out. And they'll know by, say, month per month, they go, we need a couple of does. So we probably need 500 does killed. And they'll allow 500 does tags. And then stag had tags, they'll give them out then.
That's the kind of
to balance the books. And it's perfect. They have it really good. But of course, you see, it's a real gun population. So, I mean, if you weren't strict, should there be lads fucking out? Like...
Yeah, you have to monitor it.
You have to, like. Yeah. You have to. It just keeps...
do damage.
Yeah. It just keeps the population under control, like.
Yeah, no, I never got a chance to kill a deer, so I'll take it up on it.
Yeah.
I'll get out.
It is mad. It's mad though. It's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling
to
have
taking a life. Like
it's weird, but the only thing is, you're not killing it.
Killed an armadillo over the Texas.
What?
Like an armadillo came running by, so we were on the truck. We were going out. The corn feeders for shooting the wild boar, but there wasn't many of them on the ranch for whatever reason. He probably done a big call, but like I was mad to kill something like so. Your man had like they all had these guns, like you know in Texas, like Glocks everywhere on the ground and all. Like he just hands me a Glock to kill like an armadillo. But I took the tough animals, like you know. I'm running after shooting an armadillo with a handgun, like, and they were breaking their straight laughing at me. You know, probably cruel and no sport in it, but the thing bounced as well when it's like there's some life energy in them, isn't there? Like,
oh yeah. Like I mean, like you think about what they're evolved to fucking. To not be killed.
4 or 5 bullets a day.
Maybe that's the nickname you should have gone for. Like Luke the Armadillo, fucking Keeler.
Not many people who killed an armadillo with a Glock.
Exactly, and that would be the perfect nickname. You could have worn it. You could wear his shell on your head, like out to
fabrication.
Do you know what? I think we've done. We're probably we're nearly 2 hours into it, Luke. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it's good going. Yeah, it went quick. Yeah.
So you're not allowed to tell what's coming up down the line.
Well, no names, but
there's a big fight coming.
A big fight in Windsor Park, hopefully.
Yeah, in August.
And it's a stadium up there, so it'll be on BT Sports as well. So that's the next one. Another ranking fight, one in December. Another ranking fight, and then the world title fight.
Fantastic
early next year. That's the plan.
Brilliant stuff. And where can everybody find you?
I'm on,
You're mostly on Instagram, aren't you?
I don't do much on Facebook anymore. Cool Hand Luke on Instagram and Twitter. I don't.
Like I said, I'll put all the tags. I'll put the tags in all this. Don't worry about it. Luke Keeler, thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.